Bam. Okay. Auto find and activate. There we go. There we go. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Welcome to Top Heroes. Yep.
It starts with a small fire. Auto find and activate. What are you talking about? There we go. All right. Bang, bang. Oop. What, I put user in timeout? I pin it? That doesn't make no sense at all. What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense at all. That's so stupid. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Bang, bang, bang. Oh. Let's refresh. Don't do it. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's see. Okay. What up, Robert? Hold on, I'm still working on the Jamalama chat. Bam. Bam. You're succulent explorer. All right, where am I? Okay, let's see. 1, 2. Something's not. Maybe I can do it like this. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, come on. Okay. How you doing? Oh, jeez. Let's see. What did I break? Oh, sorry. It's funny to see what I go over in the past stream. It's funny. All right, let's see. Hey. Hey. Buy fart coin. Let's look into it, big father. Not that I know of. I mean, for my channel. Not that I know. I mean, YouTube's got one. I don't use any outside YouTube. Like they do. YouTube does a lot of stuff. Once you're a partner, because they want to make as much money off of you as they can. You know what I mean? So like, but yeah, they've got like when you go. When after you upload a video, you click on it, and the AI says, "Would you like me to make you a description and stuff like that?" So yeah, I can do that. And the one thing that I do like about that is that it goes over the text, because like my shows, my videos get converted into like 12 other languages for other countries, and so it turns everything I say, it text transcribes it, and then takes the transcription, and then it can see what I talk about, and then say, hey, we're talking about this here. Even if I just call the title of the video 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So it's pretty cool. But then again, it's something we could already do, but it's faster. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's look into fart coin. Yeah. Fart coin. Not art coin. Fart coin. Dude, it's so broke. Let's see. All right, fart coin. Dude, 14 cents. Down from 17 cents earlier today. Yeah, it's don't buy fart coin. What happened? Big Father, are you hoping to get your holdings back up? Brother, I hope you didn't buy it. There's $80 million. Wait a second, hold on. $80 million worth of fart coin has been bought. That's so 160,000 people, 161,000 people bought $88 million worth of fart coin. Wow. That's the only thing I deal with too. I don't deal with, I mean, well, hold on, let me correct myself. Ethereum and Bitcoin. That's it. That's it. And the only reason I deal with Ethereum is because I got paid in it for doing jobs before. But yeah, and I don't buy Bitcoin. I actually have miners, so I'll transfer. Like I don't buy crypto with U.S. dollars. If I need something, I can take it out of my Ethereum and transfer it to Bitcoin. So yes, buying Bitcoin, but it's and then yeah, but for things like that. But right, yeah, dude, fart coin, man, is not where it's at. But 100, let me go back to that. Get out of there. Reject additional cookies. Look at this. So 186,000 people, 161,000 people bought. Holy crap. People are buying it now. Hold on. What? It went up 235% in 24 hours. What am I missing here? Yeah, it's a 44%. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I would recommend. There's a lot of big things about Bitcoin. Like just one company, for instance, BlackRock. It's like 800. How much Bitcoin does BlackRock hold? Well, that's what I'm about to get into. So just BlackRock has 800,000 Bitcoin, right? If they sold all of that. Now you need buyers to sell, you need people to buy it, but if they cashed out all of their Bitcoin, it would drop Bitcoin. And where's Bitcoin today? Bitcoin current price. Bitcoin. Wow, it lost $3,000 today. Let's see, but I'll see how it's doing over the past month. Man, $90,000 down to $64,000. But silver is up 14% in a week. Silver spot price. Silver's at 89. It went up another dollar in a couple hours. So it's up 20% in 1 week. That's twice that you would get twice the output of the S&P 500. 2 years worth of output of the S&P 500 in 1 week. I mean, I understand it rallied. Bitcoin has enough market cap. Those are oh no, it would take a huge hit. Yeah, it would take a huge hit, and that's just I should calm down when I talk about it. That's one company. If they were to sell, JP Morgan Chase would sell. That the other big jamalators would sell too. If somebody said, I'm selling all 800,000 coin, what up, Holio? Doing good. Yeah, silver's doing absolutely phenomenal. February 18th, it was at $75. And here it is, boom. $89, 89.03. Yeah, it's such a dude. Yeah. It's doing really, 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 really well. And the thing is, I try to tell people silver. So a lot of people, they don't look at investments because they hate Trump. But they got to understand what's going on. People got to get past their hate to understand that a lot of rich people are making moves on purpose. And a big thing about silver is we're building new batteries for outer space. We're building new solar panels for outer space for GPS satellites and communication satellites, not just GPS, communication satellites. And they're going to be using a more silver-based sodium ion chemistry and the higher density solar panels. You're going to be using more silver, and they're going to be built in the United States, which means they're building a whole bunch of new factories, which is true. And they haven't even bought the stock that they need, and the companies that are going to support them need a bunch of silver to create silver-based chemistries for all this stuff. And that, so there's going to be a big jump. Now it might fall again, but regardless, it's going up. The bots do the selling. That's what happened from the silver crash correction at the end of last January. A lot of this stuff. What's up, alternate account? What up, Simon? Long time no see, brother. I ain't seen you in quite a while. So the problem is you have a lot of people that were very new into trading that bought silver when it was booming, when it, like last year in January of last year. I mean, let me just do it. It was at $20 an ounce. Okay, well, it's because this is February. It's only going back to February. But in February, it was at $31. But in January, it was at $20. And then so now it boosted up to 114. And then when it started to, so when it went up to like 70, a bunch of people that have never invested before started investing also. And they lose a 20% or whatever the fees that they paid to buy silver. They paid those fees. So when it started to drop, they freaked out. So all the new buyers that have never even, that don't understand how buying and holding works, sold and caused a big dip for that too. And then now a bunch of people bought while it dropped to that low from the anxiety trading. What up, Zumbo? Silver right now, my friend. Yep, silver. Value of silver. Yes, absolutely, dude. It's doing so good. It's doing so good. So it went up to 114. It went up more than 114.98, and then there was a drop down to 78 because so many people freaked out. And then now it's back up to 89, almost $90. And that's great. So it's gone up, let's go back to 1 week. It's gone up $19 or 20%. 20%. The S&P 500 averages about 10% per year. So if you put $100,000 in the S&P 500, so to speak, you'd have about $110,000 at the end of the year. If you bought $100,000 in silver last week, it would be at $110,000 today, not including, not talking about fees and whatnot. Richard, I'm the original silver fox. Welcome back, Lamb. No, and it's not even where it needs to be. The people that are buying silver are the people that understand the new manufacturing that's going to be going on in America. But still, the companies that are being built and the companies that will be supporting those companies haven't even bought their raw stock yet. So this is people that are planning on that. Like people that know they're building a solar fab or a silicon fab. They know they're going to need hundreds of millions of dollars in silver. So them and their buddies are buying silver before the companies do, knowing that the price is going to go up. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely crazy. And like listen, just three main things. Electric cars, the robo-taxi and stuff like that, regardless if people drive electric cars, the robo-taxis are coming out in April or starting manufacturing 200,000 to 300,000 units. They're going to need the new battery type. And then you're going to have a lot of stations and a lot of solar for outer space. Just on SpaceX, Elon Musk stuff, he just signed a contract with the FAA to put 1 million satellites in orbit. 1 million. And that's not just SpaceX. That's 95% of all weight, all mass that leaves Earth that goes into space is done through SpaceX. So you have companies from all around the world, governments from all around the world that are launching satellites. And in order for them to last the longest, they need to have batteries too. And a lot of the batteries that are being used, from what they're saying, is the sodium battery. So I don't know if it's called, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called sodium ion. Not the lithium ion. So it's got a more power density. It uses more silver. and so it can charge cooler, run and a decharge cooler, and charge faster with and so need less power. So the solar panels we're using more silver to spine the solar panels more. So there's just those three things alone, just them is going to go up. Simon, frozen orange juice has better returns. Pork bellies, yep, good old. Let's say pork belly. Oh, Ampex is precious metals. I don't know why I'm trying to look up pork belly on Ampex. APMEX. American precious metals. Pork belly is not a precious metal. Fart coin. Let's see. I don't even know how to do it. I mean, I know how to do it. I just don't know. I don't know what's current. Okay, here we go. Let's see. All right. Yeah, it was at $1.20 a year ago, and it's up to $1.28. So it's going up, but it's not going up very fast. What up, Adam? I didn't realize how much silver is used. Dude, Zoom, listen, brother, a lot of people don't because we don't look into anything after school. None of us, like we think we know everything because school taught us, but then like we hear about all this stuff going on and we say, oh, that's cool, but it takes a special person to say, well, how's that manufactured? What companies are needed to support those companies? And then how does that work? And so like, because we usually just go about our days. And yeah, and then so it's easy to invest in the S&P 500. But when things speak to you like that, when you say, "Oh, cool, sodium ion battery, how's that made? What's are they using graphite rods in there? No, they're using silver plated graphite. So that means more silver. Hold on, and they're putting up millions of these things. Okay, cool. So like silver sodium ion batteries, silver use, silver. Silver is increasingly used in advanced sodium ion related solid state batteries to improve performance as a conductive additive or part of the anode. It increases electron mobility in cathode materials like sodium titanate, boosting capacity from 97% it holds charge from 97.9% after 100 cycles. So after charging and discharging, it still holds the amount of charge, almost 100%, almost 98% of the charge after 100 charge discharge cycles. So the conductive nanoparticles, so 3%. So if they make 1 million pounds of these battery anodes, 300,000 pounds of it will be silver. Right. So they need, and when it goes to outer space, it's not coming back. So it's like burning money, but this is precious metals. They have to come out of the ground. They can't just print more silver. Yeah, that's why every country's trying. Yes, sir. That's exactly right. Every country's trying to get their hands on silver. Absolutely right. I need more precious metals in my life. U.S. recently did something. Yes. No, absolutely. Yeah, we're not playing around. Graphite rods finished the USSR. The pencils. Graphite, like pencil graphite? Yes, like pencil graphite. Absolutely. Yes. So and then just this is the interesting thing about like staying on topic in your mind. And this is what B12 helped me do, because I used to have ADHD like a son of a bitch and everything was all over the place. But so like I say, okay, well, how are these things made? So then silver in solar panels. Silver is a crucial component in panels. An average panel uses 20 grams, almost 3/4 of an ounce per panel. For the fingers and bus bars that transmit it, it's used as superior electrical. Silver is the best conductor. It's better than gold. It's way better than copper, but it's more expensive. The problem is when you put it in outer space, you don't care about copper. You care about, you don't care about the price, so they're going to use more silver. Tungsten, that's got high resistivity. That's why it's used in light bulbs, and it's very hard. It's used in armor. Silver is applied to silicon wafers to paste and collect and move electrons. Without it, panels would be less efficient. Standard solar panel contains 20 grams of silver. So think about it. Yeah, and they just signed an agreement. Just SpaceX signed a contract with the FAA to put up a million satellites. How many solar panels are going to go in those satellites? 2, 12, who knows, right? More than one. Yeah. Chernobyl. Yeah. So that's just two things. And then then Robotaxi production 2026. I forgot it was 2026. Hold on, my bad. I don't know everything. Okay. Project Mobility scheduled to begin. No steering wheels or pedals. Where's it at? Okay, 2026. Okay. It's supposed to be April. I don't know where the info is. Expands Project Mobility launches significant step toward 2026. Volume production is beginning to build with no steering wheel and no pedals. So it's basically battery, right? So the Robotaxi, they're not putting money in steering wheels, gas pedals, and all those other needed things. So they're putting a larger battery pack because it's a taxi cab. They want it to stay on the road longer. So they're going to put larger batteries in these things, and they need the batteries to charge faster, to last longer, and to handle to have a longer range, and to handle more cycles before the battery needs to be replaced. And because silver is only $100 an ounce, they're not going to spend like gold is like $5,000 an ounce. So you'll spend $1,000 to get an ounce of gold back out of your electronics. You're not going to spend $1,000 to get an ounce of silver. So that's why silver is where it's at. I haven't saw smart AI yet. No, they don't exist yet. When I'm and the AI really listen, because so many people have searched for so many things, and when people test AI, they test for things that they've already searched for in the past. So that documented Google search has already been done, and the AI is not figuring out how to do it. It's saying, has someone asked this before, and then it finds a cool way to CSS it. CCS? Oh my goodness, I forgot what it was. CSS. Cascading Style Sheets. Yeah, CSS. Robotaxis are scary. Yeah. Would likely make roads much safer. Yeah, I know they will, but they're definitely scary. Listen, have you seen any yet? Have you seen those Teslas driving around pulling up and then they'll pull up, stop, and then edge up a few inches like there's a human letting their foot off the brake and there's nobody in the wheels spinning? It's like a freaking fever dream, but it's real. I'd rather drive myself. Me too. I love driving. I barely trust myself on the road, let alone a robot. Right, and then hacking. I used to do security for. Let's just say it's scary. Patriots. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Okay. New manufacturing being built in America. Being built in America. Okay, here it is. Here's the big thing. Okay, new manufacturing is heavily integrating silver, driven by its status as a critical material for high-tech green defense applications, domestic solar panels, electric vehicle batteries, and semiconductor productions. New zinc smelter, Tennessee, is designed to process critical materials, including silver. So they're all coming online in the next 13 to 18 months. So they're already building. The money's already been spent, but they haven't bought the silver yet for what they need. They're still building the buildings and the robots and putting the people into place to get started. It's going to be huge. It makes shit up. It confuses things with other things. It isn't intelligence. Right. This is what I've been trying to tell people. Just because the advertisers tell you it's going to change the world doesn't mean it is. It wants to get your money. Oh, I want to be part of that. I'm going to buy stock in frickin' blah, blah. But it's a glorified search engine. It's not that kick-ass. It's pretty cool. It's a kick-ass tool, but it's not going to replace humans. Absolutely not. And humans will be always, listen, if we base our livelihood on AI and it gets hacked, what are you going to do? Some 13-year-old kid hacks in and shuts the AI down. Because remember, servers are plugged into the wall. Servers lock up and they need to be rebooted. So if you can't log into the server, you can log into the smart power strip and shut that outlet that's turned into off and back on again. So there's a lot of little things that can go wrong, if once you build a data center, the amount of power required to run it is going to cost. So they're going to be limited. And that's what they're going to say. The reason AI hasn't taken over the world is because the government won't let us use all the power. What do you need an air conditioner for? We need AI to help it so you don't have to work. But then if I'm not working, I'm at home in a hot freaking house, right? People don't think about this. They only repeat the headlines that they hear. I have a Mazda MX-5. MX-5 has a Miata? Is that? Hold on. What? Mazda MX-5 Miata. Oh, I didn't know it was called the MX-5 Miata. Was it always that? Was it always that? It doesn't do it. It doesn't do any. Right. But there's $14 trillion that have been invested since 2025. Since 2025 because of the tariffs. So it's cheaper to build in America now. So now they are. I was pissed off about them, and now I'm happy about them. So it's like the manufacturer hamburgers, and they do throw pillows. When's the last time you could, brother? It's been 10 years. I don't even waste time with that stuff. I'm not. See, I don't. When I decided I wanted to chase, I wanted to chase a wife and a family, so I need to build everything up before I even start looking for that. Sex just went out the window for me. I just don't even care. I don't think about it. I don't be like, let's look at some hot girls. I don't even care. My mindset's completely shifted. I think it's brilliant to get people addicted to pornography because they'll never compete in you, but never be able to compete with you. Like, I spend my energy, everything I have, I could have wasted it freaking gooning, but no, I don't spend any time on that at all. None. I mean, it's been 10 years easy. Didn't OpenAI announce when it done bankrupt at the end of the year? Yeah, yes, and Nvidia's pulling out because OpenAI can't do what they told Nvidia they would be able to do. It was a big money grab. So then everybody wanted to compete with OpenAI, so everybody starting up their own AI, and then they needed RAM, and they used all the RAM, and there's limiting factors. You don't understand how it's not. Like, AI in your phone isn't running on your phone. It's running this big ass data center. So if we had AI that could fit on your phone and your phone could drive your car like without communicating to another data center, that would be something. But it's not. These things require way more energy. Like it takes way more energy to AI a Google search than it does to do a Google search. Skylines are nice. Miata is the American name. Every other country, it's the MX-5. Okay. Everyone wants a Skyline. Be real, man. Yeah, Mitsubishi Colt Raleigh art. I'd drive one of them, dude. I just don't care. Honda Beat. Do you recall? I finished your shirt. Yeah, it's ready. You can go buy it right now, brother. Yeah. I'll send you a link. Hold on. Where's my store? Oh, there it is right there. You're on the front page, brother. There you are right there. There you go. I got to connect it to 110thgrade.com, but here, I'll post it here for you to go to, brother. There you go. I'm gonna transport you into my basement, Julio. Oh, transport or teleport? I mean, if the rent isn't bad, I mean, I'll move in. Why is the information supplied by GCHQ and other European intelligence agencies regarding Trump's 2025 campaign meeting with Russian agents not a huge story in the U.S.? So many people are getting sued for saying Trump had Russian collusion, and because a lot of it that they said back in 2016 ended up being a lie, like non-provable, they're getting sued and losing. Like CNN said it, and they got sued for $24 million, and Trump won. So if this is the problem with propaganda, we don't know if that is propaganda over there or not. The reason they're not saying it here, because if they say it and it can't be proven, you know what I'm saying? So it's all propaganda. Propaganda is a very interesting thing, and everyone should learn about it. Send it in Discord, you fool. There you go, brother. You're on the front page. And then if it's not on the front page when you get there, just search Space Cow. That's me. And there's your blue. Space Cowboy 99999. That's so freaking awesome. I love it. Yeah, so that's the game, Lily, is get away with what you can get away with, sue for what people say if it can't be proven, and then like if evidence, and the problem with AI is there's lots of AI evidence, but if you get sued, and this is a big thing that happens a lot with influencers, is they get a piece of crap evidence and it's wrong, it's fake, so then the government might give it to the influencer gets sued, and the government's just like, useful idiot. So we don't know who's the liar and who's not, you know what I mean? I didn't know you sold shirts. Yeah, I got shirts. I got a bunch. This is Space Cowboys custom shirt. I got a bunch of shirts. I got a bunch of stuff. I got my 110th grade shirts. I got my 110th grade hoodies. That's my girl. Propaganda is a powerful tool for control. Yes, that's exactly right. Very, very, very. Yes. Most people believe it. Remember, most people believe Trump was in the Epstein files as a pedo. And then come to find out, because the propaganda said that because they didn't want anybody to look into the Epstein files. And then they look into the Epstein files, and the pedos were mad because Trump called the cops on them. And so it's like, so that I've hated Trump because I thought he was the bad guy in the Epstein files. But then I'm thinking, well, why didn't the Democrats release it? And then, yeah, so this is how propaganda works. And the problem is it makes us not like each other. Like people are breaking up families or getting divorced over propaganda. They have no idea, but they believe it because I hate Trump, you know. Come to find out, he was helping people out, helping the kids. Let's see. Do you know what GCHQ is? Government. Let's see. Search. Government headquarters. Government Communication Headquarters. British Intelligence Security, responsible for signals intelligence and cybersecurity. Okay. Let's see what it's got to say. Okay. And you know what sucks also about spy agencies is they've got so much dirtier stuff. So they've got it because you know that the Americans have got dirt. The American CIA and CIA, let's just say, have dirt on MI6 and whatnot because everybody's corrupt. You know, it's all crazy. So you got to choose your battles. Propaganda is when a British bloke takes a good look at something. It's a propaganda. You are young and their parents started a YouTube channel. Well, people, you are young And parents start a YouTube channel. They're forced to. Oh, yeah. That does happen. Absolutely. You should make one that says Rich the Rizzler. It took me 6 months. I heard something along the lines of father killing his child, disagreement over something in social. Yes, it happens all the time. Look, there's a kid that just killed his parents. Just killed his parents and went out on a murder spree over because he was a liberal and his parents were conservative. And then I think they were all Democrats, and then once the stuff came out about Trump being not guilty, the kid had a YouTube channel had a YouTube channel telling everybody that Trump was a pedophile and this and that. But then the stuff came out, and then his parents were like, maybe you should stop posting that. It doesn't appear to be true. But because his whole online persona was, let's get Trump for this. As soon as they let the Epstein files out, you'll all see I was right. And then he was wrong, so he couldn't handle being wrong. So he... And that's a problem. Yeah, that stuff happens a lot. It happens a lot more than you'd think. Richard is male middle class and white. Rocking the suburbs. Yeah, boy. Yeah. Rich the Rizzler. I gotta put like a freaking big old nose on the side. I got some pretty cool art that people have made for me and stuff. Let me show you some of this stuff. Let me see if I can go here in Discord. Let me make sure I ain't got nobody's names pulled up here. Where the hell is, what's her face at? Oh, there it is. Okay, Discord. All right, let me see. Let me make this a little bit bigger. All right. Like that's one of the cards that comes when you buy merchandise. Kahora made it, and then Pookie Hungry is Chihuahua, and then that's my coin. Wait till you see some of this stuff. This is some of the laser tests, and then these are the coasters. Yes, you see the vision. I don't hear much stuff like that because the news here in England most cover stuff happening. Right. And you know the BBC is being sued for $1 billion because they said Trump told people to fight, and they chopped up. I'm guessing they probably don't tell you that there because they don't want you not to trust the BBC. U.S. gold medal. Bam! Get an amen. You got an amen right here. Look at this. Look at this. Trump suing BBC for $1 billion. 10 billion. False. So because they engaged in propaganda. $10 billion accusing them defamation over January 6th speech edit. So they edited it to sound like he said, go fight. You know, but he said like a 15-minute speech and they edited it down. False, defamatory, deceptive, disparaging, inflammatory, a malicious depiction, a brazen attempt to interfere and influence the presidential election. So that's your guys' BBC. Our news is just as bad, but you can't trust your news outlets. That's the problem. They had a lot of money in wanting Trump to lose, so they lied and did whatever they needed to. Think of all the advertisers that spend money with the BBC, and they want to be able to sell to America for cheap prices. Trump wanted to raise the tariffs to what you guys charge us, you know, to make it equal. And so they were like, no matter what, let's not get him in office. And it was absolutely. He had $10 billion. So they tried to get him to lose the election by lying, by editing his speech together to say that he wanted people to fight, go fight. I'd watch that. VBC, Virgin Broadcasting. Watch my video. Oh, I didn't see it. Sorry. Is it the same one? Okay. Okay. Oh, geez, the black crayon.
Only a black crayon can make a donut like that. My donut hole is big too. I made a normal donut.
I gave my all to create that hole.
Mine doesn't have a hole.
Wait, let me finish baking first. I'm about to make a hole now. Why don't you follow this page while I do my thing? Only a black
That's
crayon.
freaking rude. Crude. What up, B2B? Then it's racism crayons about black guys having big dinglings, white guys having small dinglings. Actually, BBC isn't funded through advertising. Oh, right. You're right. You're funded through paying fees to the BBC. You do have advertising though, right? Yeah, Space Cowboy. Yeah, not lore accurate. Believe me. Hold on, let's go back over it. Like how big you made the hole.
One can make a donut like that. My donut's hole is big too. I made a normal donut.
I gave my all to create that hole.
Mine doesn't have a hole.
Wait, let me finish baking first. I'm about to make a hole now.
That's freaking crazy. Yeah, we got to celebrate our differences. Right. Taxpayers have to pay the BBC. Yes, right. And then your taxpayers should sue the people that did it, the human employees that made that made the decision to edit it. They should get sued. I mean, look, they get paid like $24 to $40 million a year to work at the BBC. Any money that could possibly be taken back from them, they are being hired not by the people to spend the people's money, and they did it for nefarious reasons. Holy shit! Oh right. I forgot. I want to apologize to the BBC for you guys being impartial. I forgot you said that over and over. I just forgot. God bless my white ass for sure. Black crayon is my favorite. Let's look it up. We'll look it up. Anyway, Richard, what up? What up, brother? Funded through compulsory TV license. Right. You guys have to pay. And if you don't, they like come to your house or send you letters saying, why don't you have a TV license? And apparently they look through people's windows. Like they pay people to say, if you find people that are watching the BBC that don't have a license, then the people get like $1,000, £1,000. The UK is in a lot of trouble. They need our prayers. They absolutely do. Absolutely do. Lamb, what up, bro? All right, let me see. Advertising on the BBC. Yeah, BBC Studios. That's where you can buy them through. So there's the BBC and BBC Studios, and BBC Studios targets audiences outside the BBC. So that's why they put it on, because you guys don't see the ads, but in America we see the ads. So your government and the people that aren't in your government that make your propaganda are trying to affect the elections in America. You boofed it. Rocking the suburbs just like Michael Jackson did. I'm rocking the suburbs. Except that he was talented. I'm rocking the suburbs. I take the checks and face the facts that some AI with computers fixes all my shitty tracks these days. Fucking British libs. That's the actual song, Julio. Rocking the Suburbs by Ben Folds 5. All right, let me see. Let's see if Lovely Lamb Lunch wants to frickin' get me frickin' copyrighted again. Probably.
At Hand in Stone, members get more.
Starting with a free facial gift card just for
TV licensing goon. Yeah, that shit's crazy, dude. It's absolutely freaking nuts. Right. Like how much. It's so crazy because the thing is, you use wackadoodle things to get the people you want employed by the BBC using wackadoodle freaking government mandates, and then they decide what the country gets to see and hear. It's absolutely crazy. There should be absolute requirements that when you do an interview with a politician that's running, you got to see whoever's running against them on the same side and who on the other side, like the independents, the Green Party, the Republicans, the Democrats, the conservatives, the liberals. Because the problem is no one got any pushback. Everything was yes, queen, yes, yes. It wasn't like, well, what are you going to do if this happens? No one ever got any pushback. They said, this is my plan and this will work. But what happens if this happens? That won't happen because no one ever told me I was wrong. Do you recall what Black Crayon did? Ding-a-ling. Ding-a-ling. You know what I should do? Isn't the Welsh choir boys committing crimes? Let's see. Welsh choir boys. Renowned for Northwest, gained international fame, British Got Talent, Bill I don't see any crimes. Or no, I mean, I'm sure it's hidden somewhere. Hey man, when they Jehovah's Witnesses come by here, I got acting insane. They ever come back? Yeah, dude, that shit's weird. I don't want to intrude, but why do you keep on chewing? Huh? You don't like chewing? I don't mean to intrude. Sadly, I'm a Jehovah's Witness, but not my choice. Yeah, you'll get it figured out. And I think this is a big problem. I'll show you. Oh, where'd it go? I don't even know where the other pack is. I got one more left somewhere. Let's see. No. Is it here? No. Is it here? I don't mean to intrude. Oh. So these here. and you suck on them. They're like hard candies. His gums because he ain't got no teeth. He's chewing the fat. No. It's all right. The all natural Zins. His name is Rob something. Just look up a guy. It's always happened to his forehead. His name is Rob something. You just look up a guy. It's all forehead. Popping perks. No, I don't. No. Absolutely not. I'm 100% for looking for absolute non-pharmaceutical ways to take care of all of my issues. I take a lot of stuff. Valerian root. And like definitely B12. My D3 is empty. I just emptied it out today. Like if I've got sinus infections or anything, I use silver. All this is 2 ingredients: silver metal and water. Here, let me do this. Let me switch cameras here. And so, like, I keep, like as soon as they get down to the gritty part, I'll spit them out and I'll take some more and spit them out and take some more. But all they are is, we can look them up here. I'll change cameras now so you can see what they are. Oh, that's not me. Hold on. Hey, that's my shirt changed. Hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. Bam. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, I broke it. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this camera works better for that. Hyperactivity, mental focus. And it's like if you want to look it up, it's like, but it's all herbal. I can read it off to you, or you can but it's great, I can't read it. Equal parts echinacea, ginkgo biloba, Professor Basketball Academy. I can't read half of it because my eyes. Cryptogelodia, Degalis, Gullamia, Humus, Lipsodium, Natural More, Natural Wax, Succulite, Salihora, Strontium, Theridian, and then gluten-free, non-GMO. Yeah, it's all kinds of wackadoodle, but it's Newton Homeopathics, and it gives me something to do. I find that like chewing gum is very so having something, and I don't know if it's the chemistry in there or if it's okay, but then here you go. This is another one. So this works great for sinus infections. The problem is when you take like antibiotics, they go throughout your whole body. But it's called immune supplement, as it says, immune support, but it's 100%. It's two items or two ingredients. It's water and pharmaceutical grade purified water and silver. That's it. So silver is antibiotic, antimicrobial. So if you have a sinus infection, it's just one up each nostril, and it's not like it's not gonna set you or anything. Right. And so I take that. I've got another one that I used all of. I had a really bad sinus infection last year. Then I've got everything else is in the other room. Here you go. This is Sleep and Restore. GABA, magnesium glycinate. Magnesium glycinate, super important. I'm actually going to make a video. That's why everything's in here. I was going to make a video because people constantly ask, what do you want? What do you want? What do you eat? And I was going to be like, well, this is my freaking health routine. I live in Georgia. Need trolls to come to the Forehead Man's page. Bring the trolls. Today we are seeing someone actually taking their pills. Colloidal silver. I'm blue. Yeah. I don't take a lot. That's very little. And this is like 50 part per million. 10 part per million. No drugs. Absolutely no cigarettes. No. You don't understand how bad smoke is for you. It's not the tobacco leaf. It's the burning of the tobacco leaf. Nicotine is not bad for you per se. Like when you look up like nicotine and B12 absorption, it isn't the nicotine, it's the cyanides in the cigarette that when it's burning that causes the issues. And the problem with smoking tobacco is what they spray on the tobacco leaf. If you like, the reason rich people get Cuban cigars is because they grow in a climate that doesn't have a lot of bugs and stuff, so they don't need pesticides on the tobacco. And the reason that tobacco was so good because people used it as a medicine. Eating all the silver. Right. That's why I got to buy more of it. I just realized Space Cowboy's name is huge on the wall. Yes. Oh, yeah. Here you go. Yeah. Space Cowboy 999. A little bit of penicillin and I'm back out there. Oh, you can't see that way. Yeah, there you go. A little bit of penicillin and I'm back out there in the dating pool. I'm not married, cowgirl. No. I'm about 3 years. I'll start looking for a wife. I don't date or anything. I don't watch porn. I don't do none of that. I don't date. I spend all my time. I left the movie industry last year to do YouTube full time, teach people that there's a better freaking way than we've always been told. But no, I'm not married. Yeah. And so I figured if like I changed how I feel my entire life. Like, I think most people feel like crap all the time and they think the feeling of love will make them, will fix all of their problems. But the problem is you shouldn't feel bad all the time. And when you fall in love and you get that euphoria and then it wears off, you just feel like you did before you fell in love. So then people divorce and whatnot. And I think getting people's freaking health straightened out first would save a lot of issues. I think most of the issues we have is, people are so sick that they have mental health issues from it, and we just usually go to doctors and take pills. Most doctors, haven't heard anybody yet that's had issues say no. They checked my blood they check for cholesterol and stuff, but they don't check to see if you're deficient in any vitamins or whatnot. Love is pretty good. And imagine what love would be like with somebody that doesn't feel like shit all the time, that has energy to do things. That isn't just like, oh, I got off work, get off me, stay away from me. You know, people shouldn't feel that way. And remember, people used to feel so good. They would like get on a boat and sail 6 months across the ocean to weird lands and weren't just exhausted all the time. It's not until we started messing with our food and pharmaceutical companies got so big that everybody feels like crap all the time. Yeah, people wanted to conquer lands before. They weren't just like, no, you go fight battle, no way. Like, yeah, people are exhausted all the time. It's called chronic fatigue, and my chronic fatigue was caused by a vitamin B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12 and chronic fatigue. So vitamin B12 is common reversible cause of chronic fatigue. The vitamin is essential for energy production, red blood cell, but then there's a big issue because the vitamin B12 they put in energy drinks is not the form that your body can absorb. But no one ever takes 5 minutes to see if there's multiple forms, And then what? So I take what's called methylcobalamin. The cells that it touches, it can absorb into. The other forms of B12 have to go through your liver first, then go through the rest of your body. And that's not helpful. Like if you put it in your mouth, it can go directly to your brain. Yay, it help you out. Some crime exists with a lack of love, one way or the other. Weird to think about it that way. Sure. Yeah, right. Think about it, right? I think I'm blessed with a different way of seeing the world. I'm tired all the time. Brianna, Listen, I used to wake up tired, work tired, come home tired, go to bed tired, couldn't fall asleep. What changed my life and made me know that I had enough energy to take over the world was vitamin B12. I'll show you the one I take. You can get whatever one you want. Just make sure it's methylated. Oops, that's not me. Here, here's the box. Here's is easier to read. Superior source, no shot, methylcobalamin B12. The government tells you should have 2.4 micrograms. I take 5,000 micrograms. Sublingual, under the tongue. Absolutely. That and vitamin D3 changed my life. B12 changed my life. And then once I realized I'm a moron, I should have looked into it more. Then I started to get blood tests and I said, what am I deficient? I didn't go to the doctor. I went to a local lab, gave me the results, and I read my results. Because doctors want to give you pills. My mom and dad are off all their pharmaceuticals also in their 70s. My mom's heart doctor told her he wouldn't see her anymore unless she took a pharmaceutical. She just wanted to go for checkups, but the checkups is, are you still taking the pills that I'm getting paid for you to get paid? It's crazy. Methylcobalamin. Did you get it down there, John? Methylcobalamin. B12. Methylated B12. Methylcobalamin. Wow. Methylcobalamin. Yeah. Sorry. Sir, everything needs to go through the liver, hepatic circulation. Yes. The problem is it has to be metabolized by the liver. If you take cyanocobalamin, then the cyanocobalamin goes through the liver to be methylated. And then when it methylates it, it releases the cyanide group off of the cobalamin group, methylates it, and then the methylated B12 goes to the body and is used directly by the cells. The cyanide group, for every molecule of cyanocobalamin, releases the cyanide into your body where the cyanide is let free. but if you, so yes, it does need to go through the liver, but it doesn't need to be methylated by the liver because it's already methylated. But most people don't even know that much, so I appreciate you bringing that up, my buddy, my friend. But yes, you're right. It needs to go. It needs to go through. I think I'm in a cursed world, different of seeing the world. I want to be a sheep. Methylcobalamin. Yes, so no matter what, how much sleep. Yes, I'm telling you, it changed my life. Red Bull has cyanocobalamin B12 in it. So you get a little boost, a little burst of energy, but it's not long acting. I screenshot this. I'm going to try it. I'm so tired of being tired. Listen, it took me till I was 43, 44 years old to do it. And the last 5 years of my life have been freaking great. He's off about the B12 again. Yay, you're welcome. Crazy talk, he says. Crazy talk. I work graveyard shifts. I'm extremely tired. Hey, fish sticks, brother. Thank you, my friend. You look like an insane person. Thank you. I hope this insane person can help you in life, my friend. Django, brother. Crazy talk. Django Mongo 2026. Vitamin D3. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. This is the problem is talking normal, talking helpful, talking not profitable to other people sounds crazy. Like, think about the people that have been so brainwashed by the COVID talk that don't find a way to help yourself and your community. Look to a company to save you. Yeah, and that's a big problem. And that's crazy talk. People think that's crazy talk. Well, you know what? The thing is, you can take this crazy talk and it can change your life. And then you'll be like, wow, I was a jerk for saying that's crazy talk. You look like an insane person. Big up, Django. I can testify for D3. I keep the orthodox out. Right. So some people, listen, if you've ever been told you have ADHD and you've never been tested for a B12 deficiency, that's a big problem. I'm sorry, everybody, we're going through this. You sound like you're having a panic attack. Right. I've got more energy than you, and I'm 49 years old. You should try to find out why that is. You should have enough energy to be excitable and excited enough to be able to help people that you sound like a crazy person. I'm telling you, brother. I apologize. That's the way you see the world. I hope you find a better way to feel better and want to help people also. Let's go from blood. Life stinks to blood. Life's all right. Yeah. Okay, what was I looking at? D3. Okay, so vitamin D3 and exhaustion. Vitamin D3 deficiency is common, often overlooked cause of chronic fatigue, exhaustion, and muscle weakness. Low levels cause calcium absorption issues, leading to bone, muscle pain, and reduced energy. Correcting this deficiency through supplementation or sun exposure can significantly improve energy levels, particularly in winter. So absolutely, you absolutely need it. He needs a hug. Yeah, he needs some D3 and some B12. Panic, right. All the panic attacks people have for no reason, or the psychological issues people have for no reason besides Trump's in office. Nah, you should be able to still be able to excel no matter who's in office. That should not affect your life. People telling you that the president's gonna have people put back into slavery and whatnot, you shouldn't have such an emotional reaction that your body doesn't recover quickly. And that's a big problem. People, you have to understand that cobalamin and D3 is what your body needs in excess to make serotonin, melatonin, a bunch of tonins, dopamine, vitamin B12, and mood. So deficiencies are strongly linked to depression, anxiety, fatigue, and irritability. Our brother Django here seems like he's very easily irritated. Right. So low B12 can often cause cognitive impairment and brain fog. I do have brain fog, but very little. I can respond very quickly to the point that people think I'm an insane person. No, I'm just much, much healthier than you. And you can be too. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. I want you to go do it on your own. He says things about global warming I don't agree with, but then he says things about other things I do agree with. And he's kind of one of his community critics, listens to others. And that's the way the world should be, right? That's the way the world should be. Right, because the thing is, some people disregard people's one opinion of people and disregard and therefore turn everything completely away. But if we can, the thing is about the argument about global climate change is, even if I'm wrong about that, we'll be all right. But if I'm right about it, we'll be all right. And the B12 thing, if I'm right about it, you'll be all right. If I'm wrong about it, you'll be all right. So nothing I'm going to say is hurt you, because you can't overdose on it. It's water soluble. You're recommended to take 2.4 micrograms a day, and I take some days 15,000 micrograms, and that's not an odd amount to take. That's 15 milligrams, by the way. 15,000 micrograms is a high potency, usually sublingual, that's what I take, under the tongue dosage of methylcobalamin designed for treating severe deficiencies. It supports energy, nerve health, red blood cell production. While generally safe, excessive doses cause rare side effects like acne, nausea, or headaches. How can I change my name on here? Help. You go to your channel. Go to your channel, Brianna. Click here. We'll do it right here. I'll show you. If you go to your channel, right? And then you click on your face. Click on your picture. And then that'll bring you up to this page. And then you can scroll down to right here, name and handle. Ordered both. Hit the subscribe. Thank you, John, brother. Thank you. Yeah, methylcobalamin, absolutely. Most is being passed out of urine test. So see, it's being passed out. Yes. The excess is fine. Yes, sir. Right. 0.015 grams. Yes, sir. And the D3, I take 1,000 IUs. So I have drops. I put them on my wrist. They have some I've had a DMSO added to it, so it absorbs very quickly through the skin. This one I use now is an alcohol and esters base, and it goes directly on your wrist, like how you would put perfume on. And it's 200 IUs a drop, and I put 5 drops on a day. Byron Johnson, we'll look up just a second. Not all vitamins simply pass through the body. It is absolutely right. There's water soluble, there's fat soluble, and that absolutely matters. Vitamin A can kill you. Yeah, absolutely. Vitamin C is one of those things that you'll just generally pill out. But if you're dumping a pile of pills into your mouth, you got an issue either way. And the thing is, you can always look at Google and say, and what I did was the United States government, and I know I do this a lot, I apologize, but B12 RDA, recommended daily allowance from the government, is 2.4 micrograms. That's 2.4 millionths of a gram, and I take 5 milligrams. But if you look at other countries, they say different things. But I tell you, the problem is you got to make sure you're at least at that. Smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, smoking weed, anything else you do like that, even other pharmaceuticals. Drinking chlorinated water out of your tap slows or stops or can convert B12 to a non-absorbable version of cobalamin. So, and a lot of people drink tap water that's chlorinated. So you think you are getting enough from your diet. Like I hear people all the time, no, I drink plenty of milk. Okay, but is your body absorbing it? You have to do a blood test to check. And I do 4 blood tests a year, every 3 months. My whole family, my mother, my father, absolutely. More vitamin equals more better. Yes. Yep. Zinc is a mineral. That's right. That's right. Zinc is a mineral. Yes. That's correct. Yeah, I realized that. I figured it was obvious dairy one. No, yeah, that's right. But that's why vitamin A. Wait a minute. Vitamin. And if you look up things like this, like vitamin D3, D3 1000 IU. And this is an interesting thing about vitamin D3. The reason they don't use milligrams and stuff on IU, look into that. It'll piss you off. They want you to think that you're taking too much. So they instead of it being 1 milligram or whatever, they say 1,000 IUs because there was this big thing. Companies that just look into it yourself because I'll sound like a crazy person. All right. Okay, so D3, 25 milligrams, 25 micrograms is 1,000 IU. Why it's not just called 25 micrograms? It's a common, effective daily supplement for healthy levels of D3. Is essential for bone, teeth, muscle, and immune health. It aids in calcium absorption and the immune system regulation, often taken as a single daily soft gel or tablet. But I take a liquid. I don't know if that's what I threw it away. I was going to show you guys. Yeah, but absolutely. That's absolutely. And the thing is, you don't understand. A lot of people use sunscreen. A lot of women use makeup with sunscreen on it, and they're depressed all the time because vitamin D is created in, I think it's the melanocytes, the melanin in your skin that converts the sunlight to vitamin D3. Oddly enough, and if you go out with a face full of makeup on and everything else is covered up, the sun's not getting to your skin. And so you should go out, and I usually do an outdoor in the sun. Like today, if you go look at my stream history, I did my half hour in the sun stream earlier today. Sometimes I haven't been doing it a lot in the winter, but I usually do it. Have you seen my comments about the UFOs? No, brother, that's the last comment I seen. Since you're 50 joules, this is the last one I seen, my brother. Brian Johnson, sorry about that. Love Brian Johnson. He has a very subtle ego. Let's look him up. Byron Johnson or Brian Johnson? Okay, hold on. Is it safe to drink well water? Yes, very safe to drink well water as long as it's been tested, doesn't have a body floating in it or something. I just let the sun burn my skin. Get the evil out. Okay, sorry. Oh, yes, very familiar. I'm very familiar with him. Yeah, very interesting. Dude, yeah, very interesting. And I don't think he's wrong. Even Elon Musk said within the next 10 years we'll probably cure aging. Like there's a reason your right arm and your left arm don't age at different rates. You've got a timer in your body that ages all of your cells, even though your cells split every few seconds. Your body, so they think it's environmental. Like it's absolutely crazy. I think he's on. A lot of people don't listen. Think about all the science we have, and it takes some rich dude to say, "Let's think differently. Let's think. I've got enough money. Let's think differently, and let's try something different." And he is, and it's doing something. But think about it: 250 years of pharmaceutical industries and zero cures. Zero. Yeah. It's body dumping. We used to dump our bodies forever young. I want to be forever young. Yeah. He's 40. He's a year younger than me. He's a year younger than me. Yeah. Okay, let's see. All right, it's going to be cold. Let me see here real quick. All right, we're going to go outside and light the greenhouse the greenhouse on fire. We're going to light the heater in the greenhouse. It's going to be below freezing tonight. Crazy, he says. We didn't cure smallpox. It's still around. And that's the thing. Like we eradicated it, but smallpox is still around. He does look strange. Dies at 49 from being too young and reverts to fetus. Smallpox outbreaks. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Smallpox caused by the variola virus, massive global outbreak, death rates 30%. World Health declared it eradicated in 1980. Let's see, for centuries. Smallpox. Okay. The Center of Disease Control says none happened since 1977, but that's outbreaks. There have been cases of smallpox. There definitely has been in the world. Somalia, 1977. But going back to this, even conceding, we didn't cure smallpox. Like we didn't give people a pill that made smallpox go away. We did a whole global thing. The pharmaceutical industry didn't say, and for saying that's vaccination, that prepared body by using that, they didn't create a pill for no other things. And let's see what it's considered. I think vaccination and cure is definitely a blurry line, but let's see. Okay, let's see. Vaccination campaign. Okay, let's see what it calls it with the word cure. Oops. Yeah, no proven cure for smallpox. Treatment is primarily supportive care. Right, so they haven't cured smallpox. Minecraft, maybe in about a half hour, brother. It sounds like a good idea. Trolls get banned for 1 minute and 2026. Gun in the hood. Django, you need a hug. Hurting and talking out. Yeah, people are crazy, dude. Listen, people are really hurting out here, man. They're really hurting out here, and we've been taught just to bully them. I mean, and I understand that, and I hope. Like, I'm guessing he's a young guy. He's probably in his teens, and he's got no idea. People are so trained to listen to the experts that have been lying to you for decades about things. It's absolutely. What up, Dylan? All right, let's go. Let's set up the phone here. Give me 1 second. Sources, remote camera, feed. Oh, dang it. Okay. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Hold on. The audio's going to be weird for a second. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah. Phone. Bam, okay. There's Space Cowboy 9. All right, give me 1 second. Let me get some warmer clothes on. Okay. Warm clothes. Let's just run. Who needs warm clothes? All right, let's see. Light. Camera. And it's cold. You can't see my breath because I'm too healthy. All right, sorry. See, I have an electric heater on that stays up to, to keep it a certain temperature. But when it gets too cold, that electric heat can't keep it warm. So I've got backup. And this looks so dang cool. Hold on. Give me a second, folks. Hold on. All right. We got the pilot on. And then we'll go ahead and fire it up. Make a magic. Opening the portal. Come on. Open the portal. There we go. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Oh, all right. Come on. Gotta keep the raccoons out. Shoo. Right. It's cold out here. Good thing I've got my vitamin B12. Link in the description. Just kidding. There's no link in the description. Okay. All right. It's cold. All right, 1 second. Ooh. Dang, sorry about that. All right, I'll say 60 seconds is fine. When he'll come back again, he's probably just a bit tired. I'm tired. Django Unchained for 60 seconds. Okay. Your dog is fat? Yeah, and stop feeding him all those grains. Dogs and cats don't eat grains in nature. You know, I can't believe. I mean, I do believe because they're. Yeah. People are like, why do dogs and cats live this long? What are you feeding them? Freaking fake bread? Take your dog for a walk. If you're fat and your dog is fat, that's a problem. Let's see. Let's see where we're at with silver. Let's see where we're at with gold. Gold's down 0.35%, but it's $5,200 an ounce. That's up 6 point. Dude, I'm telling you, precious metals, man, is where it's at. You can't get 10 to 12% a year on anything, and you look at that year over the year. Like, dude, it's gone from. Dude, look at this. 1 year ago, it was at $2,800. So if you bought $100,000, hold on. So $100,000 last February, just say you had it for whatever reason, it's gone up 84% in a year. 84%. It would have gone up to $184,000. Hold on, more than that. Am I stupid? Hold on. It's gone up more than 84%. Because it's at 5,000. It's gone up. What was the change? 200%. 100% would be 46. Oh yeah, it's gone up over 100%. Yeah, right. So you would have doubled your money. You would have over $218,000. Anywho's. Oh, reloading. But yeah. We'll all be all right. More mental focus pills, anyone? And these are like they're basically candies. Ages 12 and up, 6 pellets, blah blah blah, 1 to 3, 11 pellets, dissolve, blah 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 blah. Gradually increases the full. Yeah. You said something about being conditioned to bully social outcasts or something along with those lines. I suppose it's learned behavior above all else. I know on that for a bit because I had a degree. Can I have a candy? But think about all the do not back down, like what you teach kids in schools when you teach them something about politics that you don't know whether it's right or it's wrong, but you want to spread that thought. So you tell them, no, this is the truth because I'm your teacher, and do not back down. And people will be like, no. All right, let's look this up real quick. Let's see. Okay, so this is interesting here. Okay, counter arguments to climate change include assertions that current warming is part of a natural historical cycle. The medieval warmer period was warmer than it is now, rather than human-driven. Critics often argue that the climate models overestimate future temperature increases. Solar activity drives climate, not CO2, and that observed temperatures have not risen as predicted. This is one of Manish. This is one of the things, Manisha. This is one of the things I was talking about. I want to see how deep you are in the alternate thinking, the lack of a better word. I hope you believe the moon landings. Yes, I do. I believe in the moon landings. No, absolutely. Look, so two things can be true, right? Okay, and this is the thing. We absolutely landed on the moon. But I also do not think everything we saw on TV was shown from the moon. And I know we landed on the moon. My father worked for the space agency. He's worked for the Johns Hopkins Avery Propulsion Research Laboratory of the Applied Physics Laboratory out of Maryland. Him and my mother both. But my father worked on all that stuff. So we have retroreflectors on the moon. We can shine you know what a retroreflector is? It's like an inverse pyramid. So if a laser comes in, the laser hits one mirror, bounces off to another mirror, and comes back in the same angle, same direction it came in at. Right? So we have those on the moon. That's how we measure how far the moon is from the Earth. Also, the Chinese and the Indians have also orbited the moon and have seen our old Apollo landing spaces. But there's also, I do believe that some of the stuff we saw on TV from some of the moonwalks, some of them were filmed in a Hollywood studio. But I absolutely do believe that we went there, and the Chinese and the Indians have proof of that too. Let's see. I think it was the Indians. I might have been the Pakistanis, but they get mad when give me some grace. Hold on. Chinese evidence of Apollo landings. Pakistanis are good. Okay, so here's China's moon landing, and it's showing one of the Apollo landers. Hold on, let me get to there's some better stuff here. There you go. Like here's photos of Apollo 11, 12, 14, 16, 16, and 17. Those are the landing sites. It's not like it's like trying to feed a stray dog. I'll bite first and I'll accidentally eat with enough time. Come trust you. Same applies to people. There are reasons to believe the original footage was fake. Yes, there absolutely was. Right, but we do. But other countries that don't really like us now also have evidence of the landings, and the retro reflectors are evidence of it. And we'll look at that in just a second. Chinese delivery. Yep. Well, if they were fake, the Soviets would have done a much better protest. Oh, I agree. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. So this is from the Indians. The Indian, I don't know the name of the Indian Space Agency, but this is Apollo 11 and 12 filmed from India's moon mission. They didn't land on the moon. They orbited the moon. They mapped the moon. And there's a bunch of this is Chandrayaan. I don't know how to pronounce the word, but yeah, that's showing old. And this is the thing. You got to know what to look up. You know, if you type in proof that for moon landings, there's so many blogs that will come up like everything was faked, and it's a big problem. Your dog has a big belly. He's an arsehole. I got you, lamb. Hold on. Lovely lamb lunch. He's making fun of me.
Yeah, so don't get me started on the old religion. I don't care.
Yeah, sorry.
You're Jewish. You're
Oh, you did land on the moon. Sorry. Oh, right.
A Protestant.
My apologies.
It don't matter. God is God. Yeah, God is God. What up, Space Cowboy? How's things? Yeah. Do I recall the
what up, Brianna?
Central parking lot?
Central parking
lot. About there, Space Cowboy. What up, MD? MD? How's things? What up, Lamb? How you doing, Lamb? Don't touch me about Lamb. He's something else. He's a lamb. Lamb. No. Me and Lamb go back. Mums.
That ain't me.
Business partner.
Lamb's on the dust again. How can we always say yeah.
What up? What's your name?
What's your name?
I gotta call it now. I gotta call it. I need to get some sleep. Okay. So bye.
I definitely do that. Maybe. Shut up. I can touch me, brother. Listen. I think most people feel like crap all the time. I feel like most people don't have the energy to look up things, and they're so exhausted all the time. I think most people are faking how well they are. Like even when people lie about their mental issues and stuff, like they're just performing. And I'm not performative. I mean, I may have some performative acts, but like, when you spend enough time, and I've worked in the movie industry for 15 years making propaganda and bullshit. So like, I know, like I hear the backroom conversations when people are like, how are we going to make people believe this? And I'm like, this is kind of messed up. That was lovely lamb lunch making fun of me, Brianna. Can vitamins fix that? Can vitamins fix this? I tried to help him. He won't do it. He won't try. He won't even try. That is lovely lamb lunch. Hey, hey. And I don't sound like that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so don't get me started
I
on
have a personal theory about the world. Everything is to keep the masses working.
I don't care if
You're right.
you're Jewish, you're Muslim, you're Christian, a Protestant. It don't matter. God is God, yeah? God is God.
No, I don't ever say that.
What up, Space Cowboy? How's things?
Shut up. Shut up. Yeah, right. Absolutely. So you have to keep the masses working. If the masses find out that everyone is just deceiving them because they want power, and you don't like, and if everyone, this is why you'll never have socialism, because everybody will realize they're being lied to, and then there'll be an uprising. So if you can make everybody chase the currency of your country and realize I'll starve to death without working for somebody, then you can do whatever you want to do to control whoever you want to control while you're in office. Yeah, and absolutely, they got to keep you working. I think the reason I know as much as I do know is because I found a way out. I've found a way to keep myself healthy enough to not be exhausted all the time. And it starts with the water you drink. Like, people think, oh, drink 8 glasses of water a day. Yeah, but you're drinking bull crap water. You're drinking water that's got stuff that helps, that stops your body from absorbing the nutrition that you need. 10 out of 10 impersonation. Somebody kick her out. I'm just kidding. The thing is, rich won't get into the heavens, basically giving the poor a promise of the best life they can never get in this world. Hold on, the thing like rich won't. The things like the rich won't get into the heavens, basically giving the poor a promise of the best life they can never get in this world. The problem isn't wealth. The problem is people who get wealthy by hurting other people. In order to get ultimately wealthy, you've got to rip off a lot of people. You've got to deceive a lot of people. That's what marketing and advertising is mainly. It's convincing people that your product or your way or your service is the only way. And then like the food that we eat, look how we don't need it. We don't need breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Look how fat people are. They're obviously eating 3 people worth of calories. And then we have people that are hungry. None of that stuff should be happening. There's a lot of addiction. There's a lot. And but it's what people do to get wealth is the problem. But but if you're wealthy, it's not a problem if you're helping other people. And a lot of times helping other people can make you more wealthy, because people like here, you see cash, super chats and stuff. People thanks for the info. That's not bad at all. That's great. And then Adam needed a couple bucks because he didn't believe me in vitamins. So I bought him some vitamins because he wouldn't buy them. So I bought him some vitamins. So money came in and money went back out. Right. And it's yeah. And letting people know, a lot of times people deceive people because they're using the same methods to control people that were in holy books all across the world, and that's why they don't want people reading them, because they'll be like, hey, you're doing what they did, and blah 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 blah. And it's the same old story. Hope isn't something we should trample on. No, absolutely not. Look up slave mortality. Slave morality. I can't read. That's what I'm a believer in. Slave morality. This is one of the big things we talked about religions is people. There are slaves. People are slave-minded. So you have to understand that you don't need to treat them badly. Some people want to work for you for the basic human rights that are their basic human. They want food, shelter, and basic health care. But we gave slaves that in America, and other countries had slaves for other people. All you didn't want your slaves to die, right? But you don't have to treat them badly, and we're basically just steps up from that, and that's what's a good thing to do. Africa's the richest continent in minerals. Agreed. The poorest in wealth. How many coca plantations Switzerland got? Right. Give me some cash for vitamins, 35% interest loan. I ate half a sardine supper. I'm in crippling debt. Brother, keep it. I'm just glad you took it. Now I'm in crippling debt. I'm doing good, Barbara. How are you? How are you doing, my girl? What up, Barbara? Okay, let's look it up. All right, slave morality. Okay, the concept developed by Friedrich Nietzsche, beyond good and evil, and the genealogy of morality, a reactive value system born in the resentment of the weak and oppressed towards the strong. It inverts master morality by deeming traits of the powerful as evil. And elevating weakness, humility, and pity is good. Yeah. And in the Bible, they said that that's going to happen when people say good is bad and bad is good. Everything that used to be good is now being called bad, and everything that's been bad for you, drugs and whatnot, are now good. All should be legal. Everybody should be having sex with everybody. Like all this stuff that used to be evil is now considered good. It just flopped. It's exactly what Nietzsche was saying. It's exactly what the Bible was saying. And I'm sure I'm Barbara. Just a hogwash simulation seminar. Did I miss it? What's up, Killer Squid? By Nietzsche. Yeah. I was always nice to see your bubbling self. Thank you, Barbara. Africa's taking advantage of us. Yes, the lack of education is the source bottle. Their money goes a lot further as a result. Listen, there's a big problem. The biggest problem, and I've looked into Africa. I've looked into say what's going on. Is it really? The problem is that I believe they're happy. It's the happiest people I see are the poorest people in the world. And you have people that are wealthy and unhappy that think they can help the Africans by giving them what we have that makes us unhappy. Like some people think wealth is love and family. They've got more kids. Their marriages last longer. They're overall in the World Happiness Index, they rank like top. They're the happiest people, even though they're the poorest. So is it our fault that we think they need help? And then, yep. That's an issue. That's an issue. And this is why I think you should take care of your neighbors, like the people you can see out your window. But people like to twist it into a racism thing, saying, no, I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about your local people. Like, is if you don't have a good firmament, a good freaking foundation to stand on, you can't help anybody else. But we're telling them what they need rather than asking them what they want. And the thing is, they don't seem to want it, or would they do it? And then people try to say, well, they got low IQs. They won't. But is that the problem? Is that what it is? Is it low IQ? Or are they just happy? I mean, if they were all, I just don't. In medieval era, a serf couldn't work his way into nobility ever. That's correct. He could only look at the powerful and resent. What are they going to do? Grapes that can't reach the sour. That's religion. That's some religions, yeah. And the problem is there's lots of religions. And the problem is there's adaptations of the religions. You've got my church is my home. I'm smart enough and have found enough knowledge and enough evidence to convince myself that we are created. I choose to go from there. The problem is with churches and whatnot and houses of worship is that you have people that are telling you things that haven't been written in history. Like they say, this is the way things should go. And you've got people that add their own new books on, the Jehovah's Witness, the Mormons and whatnot. And it's like, and then people are like, the Mormons like, you can have sex with whoever you want. You can have 17 wives. And it's just like, well, that's not, well, but we have a new revelation. Well, the problem is you want to be the one that's followed instead of people. And that's a big problem. So I read it for myself. I don't, I want people to find the kind of insight that I have to understand that people should be treating people like we have accountability for it. Accountability for our actions is gone in a lot of the culture. A lot. People don't care that they just kill other people. People don't care how they treat other people at all. And people think other people should be treated worse than other people. Like even the people that say they're good people are bad people to different classes of people. And it's a big problem. We all could be happy and healthy, and we don't spend enough time looking at ourselves. We spend too much time looking out to help other people and acting like we're good. They simply don't know what other people have, so they don't feel upset for having it right. And should we go in and be like, look, you can have a Rolex if only you had a job, but there's no jobs here, so let me start a company here and I can hire you, and then you can make money to buy this nice Rolex. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Bible says it's easier to pass camel through a heaven needle than a rich man getting into heaven. That's correct. That's absolutely correct. But let's look into that. Let's look into that. Because a big problem with quoting verses is there's a verse before and there's a verse after, and we don't know the context of when that was said. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can go through a book and it says shoot him, and it says Moby Dick says shoot him, but in what context? Are they talking about a whale, a person, what? It's like, all right. So let's look into it real quick. Okay. Oops. Oopsie again. Okay. All right. Here's what it means. Okay. Matthew 9:24, Mark 10:25, and Luke 18:25. It's nearly impossible for someone relying on wealth to enter the kingdom of heaven. Money can hinder the spiritual dependence on God. Do you think you get everything from the financial system? You think everything you need comes from science? You think everything you need comes from the grocery store? You think all your health needs come from doctors and companies? And that's the problem. You don't also realize that there's more than that. There's more to life than making money, spending money, and whatnot. So that's why it says it's nearly impossible, because a lot of people say, I've got what I need. Why do I need God? Our objective truths, the nobility of poverty and Nestle's divine judgment are not moral discoveries, but artifacts of brutal psychological evolution. When social mobility was structurally reframed as a spiritual choice to the humble, religion provided the internalized panopticon, remove the police force from the palace gates of the believer at its own skull. By installing rebranded, we have replaced the fear of hell with the fear of the gulag and eventually the fear of the algorithm. Today, social media acts as the new confessional. We're canceling services as a new excommunication. We have not outgrown the need for a master. We have simply become more adept at calling servitude freedom. We navigate the world through the stories our television. So here's the thing. I agree with you, but the thing is what I was saying before. Everybody wants to replace your God. The people that say, give me enough money and enough time with science and I'll figure out why there is no God and why I'll answer questions about the universe for you and you don't have to look for it or spiritually find you here. We can treat people bad because there is no God, because I can figure it out why. And the same thing with other religions that add to biblical passages and say, hey, I'll be that. I can do that. I figured out the new way, so you don't need this. But the thing is, it always fails because people always ultimately end up treating other people bad. It's compartmentalizing. And it's a problem. Camera shooting, right? That could be a shooting, right? Right, Mason, right. It could mean with a camera, take a picture, right? I'm rocking the suburbs. Yeah, it's copy pasted. That's all right. And that's facts. It's all right. All right. Actually, the whole 6 paragraphs, I had to use AI to re-summarize it. It's all right. No, but I get what you're saying. Absolutely. And here's what it comes down to. People want to be able to excel in life and social standing by stepping on the faces of other people. And what the problem is what religion or ultimately tells us is we're made in the image of God, and all of us are, and we shouldn't be treating anybody bad to try to excel. We should be holding each other together and getting through to the kingdom of heaven. And ultimately, we can do, and whether you want to take it my way or whatever some other church says or whatever, my point is I've got knowledge. I don't know how I got it. I mean, I picked it up all over the place, but it made my life better and it makes me feel better. And just the chemistry part, the vitamin part of it, and just passing that on to people and saying, look, I'm 49. I don't feel 49. I don't act 49. And if you try at least what I'm doing, and I didn't create a product and say you can buy this and be like me. I'm trying to give people information to go do. Because the thing is with information and gatekeeping, people make stuff up and tell you, I'll tell you how the universe was formed, rather than the universe was formed by a creator and let's see how it was done together. That's what I think is better. People are trying to separate people and trying to rule them by giving them bits and pieces, breadcrumbing them with information that ultimately leads nowhere and is full of deception. So instead of saying, let's find out how nature made the universe, we can say, thank God we're in a universe that was created. Now let's try to use science to see how it was done. People think that people with conviction and religion just want to be dumb. Like, no, God did it. God did it. Yeah, how'd he do it? And then, but 65% of all Nobel Prize winners in chemistry, I think it's 80% in chemistry, are religious. So it's like people that have gotten that part out of their way, that gotten that mental cloud out of their way, saying, let's find out how it was done because there is no creator, by being in the mindset of saying, let's find out how it's done. It's like going up to a car and you know the car was put together by a bunch of very smart people and then taking apart to see how it works. Have you ever ate rotten flesh? I have in freaking day room Minecraft. Hashtag lamb. I was just struggling to imagine a person typing that so fast. It's all right, brother. Well, I actually believe I'm a staunch science supremacist. I believe in evolution, so I guess we disagree on that. Yeah, hey, brother, I did too for a long time. But I urge you to look into the counter arguments for evolution. There's a lot of them. There's a whole lot of them. Even Darwin said that if a cell was more complex than a ball of gelatinous protoplasm, his theory would be wrong. So Darwin wouldn't even agree with himself nowadays. But it sold to so much people. Do you recall why my shirt is so expensive? How much was it? It's $20. It's front and back. That's why. There was a time the thunder was seen as God, and I come from a long way to that, the God of the gaps. Right, but science uses time in the gaps. Atheist science says, give me enough time and I'll tell you how it was done. Just 1 billion more years, between 8 billion more years, a swamp bug turns into a human. Just give me time. And this is a problem. There's the God in the gaps and time in the gaps. You use time in the gaps and I use God in the gaps. But the thing is, the people that use time in the gaps don't think for the same reason. The God in the gaps people still want to know how God did it. They don't just say, God did it. Let's look at I eat some. No, there's very, very, very smart people saying exactly how the things are done. I've eaten some questionable flesh in my time. I had to do it. Yes, they were interviewed. There's 80% you talk about. The religious only talk about the respective of the holy book. Says no other reason. Just a book. Right, but have you looked at the scientists? Like, look, hold on, I'll check this out. Like, dude, the smartest people on this planet. Give me time, oregano. You don't. All right, let me see. Damn it, I can't. Oh, dang, I can't remember his name. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
We now know that.
All right, so check these guys out real quick. All right.
You could mutate a DNA molecule indefinitely without respect to any probabilistic limits, and in the best case, all you would get is a new protein. But proteins have to be organized into biosynthetic pathways. Those biosynthetic pathways will characterize different cell types. Different cell types have to be organized into tissues. Tissues have to be organized into organs. Organs and tissues have to be organized into whole body plans. And the instructions or the information for affecting those higher levels of organization beyond the simple protein are not stored entirely in the DNA. And therefore, What that means is the neo-Darwinian mechanism is simply inadequate to generate a body plan. We now know
These are the guys that are saying God in the gaps, but they're called absolute. You're too stupid because they're just like the Bible did it. No, there's people out there doing actual science, but the people that can't compete with these guys want to say like, no, these guys are dumb because they believe in creation. And no, you absolutely have a whole side of the argument that you never hear, and that's bad. And that's what I looked into to prove God wrong, and I found them. That's a problem. There'll come to a point where the moral debate eventually take a toll on you when you realize the damage people have found solace in the book that gave you tomorrow beyond tomorrow. Whether it's right or not, we ought not trample on it. We just say come a long way. Kind of look around, realize, okay. Yeah, it might be. So is liberalism. So is conservatism. There's a lot of coping mechanisms. I have enough trouble with my toilet tissue having the same purpose. All right, look. Okay, let's see. This is interesting too.
We take this waste, electronic waste, a lot of it we just ship to Africa, and they will go through a number of processes to try to reclaim that metal. These data centers, every time you store something to the cloud, that is going to a data center. That is storing in some flash drive on some chip somewhere, and they will retire these every 1 to 3 years. So you have a huge number of these things that are made by many different manufacturers, and so there's mountains of these, and these are considered a toxic waste, not by me, just by the government, because there's a lot of metals and you can't just throw this in the trash. And so there's huge availability of this, and if you recycle it, metals are infinitely recyclable. So you can recycle it again, and now there's more money in it. The traditional ways of purifying this were really messy. You needed a lot of acid, a lot of water. You generated what was called secondary waste streams from all of this processing. And the pyrometallurgical methods of just melting it all down wasn't able to pull these individual metals out as well. Things have changed. Our method turned out to be quite fruitful, much cleaner, and much cheaper. We take this waste, electronic waste.
And so he's got like 11 patents on a bunch of super technological stuff, but he's absolutely who's in the arbitration of what is right and wrong. We are. We try to make theories on how the universe is created and the creator can't be proved or disproven. Maybe we're asking the question in 3D universe. The answer is 40. I agree, Borg. I agree. I agree. And I think the whole point of it is to see if we're willing to still put our discrepancies aside and still move forward with science. The problem is the people that are willing to work together despite their differences, like atheist scientists don't want to work with religious scientists, and religious scientists will work with anyone, and it's very, very hard because they won't even. The problem is the hard-headedness when someone comes up with an idea for evolution, and then somebody says, well, hey, they don't say it doesn't work because of the Bible. They say it doesn't work because your science is wrong, and they won't listen to it. Like, this guy's really big on that. Let me see if I can find one of the things he was talking about. Okay, here we go.
I'm limiting myself to the same thing that I hold my colleagues to. If you're going to use these instruments and these tools, I can take the same instruments and the same tools and show you why your own arguments don't work. Everything comes to a screaming halt. When you use the very tools that they want to say we need to use, yes, you don't have the informational code, but every step of the basic chemistry doesn't work. Every step. Long before you get to thinking about a cell working. Each of the components, the building blocks you can't make, the building blocks of the building blocks you can't make, and if given to you, you wouldn't know how to assemble them. So just even using the materialist's own tools, what they are proposing falls apart. And not just a little bit apart, it falls grossly apart. I'm limiting.
Let me see if I can find the one he was talking about. you go. This is a pretty good one.
Why do you think that
Primordial
institutions and
soup.
scientists still hold true to this primordial?
Right. So he invented a way to do it cheap. He invented a way to do it without liquid chemistry. He's got a new patent that will allow us to basically vaporize e-waste and collect using eddy currents in different electric fields, separate the e-waste as gas, and then collect the gold, silver, platinum separately. And you don't need to mix a whole bunch. You don't need to dissolve a bunch of stuff and poison a bunch of people in doing it. It's absolutely correct. Yes. Yes, sir.
No, it's illogical.
I'll tell you,
Anything
the
and
vast
everything,
majority
absolutely,
of
yeah.
scientists never think about
He is
this
malicious.
stuff.
He can't
Until
tell-
I
it
started
can't be all
researching
loving,
this
so it wouldn't
about
be worms.
7 or 8.
No, you're forgetting about the evil, man. You're forgetting about the evil. You're right. You have to understand. There's also evil. You want there to be. You hear people say he's an all-loving God for those in a relationship with him. There's also an all-hating entity out there that puts a bunch of bad stuff to test you and to cause harm. The people out there, there's evil. Evil absolutely exists in this world, and that's where we miss it. Hold on one second. Let's finish this real quick.
Years ago, I never thought much about it. I didn't give it a whole lot, but I never really thought much about it. And then at one point, a person challenged me, and I started looking at the details, and I thought, this is a bunch of nonsense. So most scientists don't think about it. Most scientists allow other scientists who are specialists in that field to define that field for them. So in other words, I haven't done the calculations on dark matter and dark energy. I just take for granted what these other people have done. To those who work in the area of origin of life, who are synthetic chemists, they see exactly what I see. And this is why they are afraid to challenge me, because they know I'm right. And you say, well, why do they do this? Well, they've made their careers on this. If
Right.
you've spent 40 years talking about this thing, the last thing you want to do is say, all of this stuff that I was saying was wrong. Because scientists are just like everybody else. We struggle with self-esteem problems. We want to allay our fears and all these other problems. Another reason is because of money. Because if you stop saying this, you don't get money anymore to do your research.
Right. So somebody came up with a good theory that got tons of money, made tons of people famous, and then if somebody comes up with an opposing theory, it gets squashed. And so this guy is on a mission to undo that. We literally made the proteins that build the life. No, brother, listen, you have to understand that was right. We made them by mixing purified chemistry. We ordered and purchased the purified chemicals and separated and added them together. You can't dump all chemicals into a primordial soup and them self bond. It doesn't work. It absolutely and actually this guy talks about that, and he talks about it in depth about like the down to the freaking electron spin on and the left and right handedness of the chemistry, and how when you have a mix you have left and right chiral molecules, and you can only use right-handed chirality, and in a primordial soup you'd have all of it. So we can only make these things, we can only make these proteins when we get purified versions of them that are in very dry or very wet environments. And when you move from one step to the next step, you've got to remove water and then have another step, and then within 4 hours you've got to be able to rehydrate it or heat it or cool it, and you don't have that in primordial Earth. You don't have it. You have a big puddle that's everything of every chirality mixing together. And that's what his whole point is, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Science can only lead us to a creator. The more we understand. Yeah, and that's my point. If evil was created by God, it must be somewhat evil. So it's just like how magnetism, if you take a magnet, it always has another end. There's always another end. So in the creation, you don't understand one side without the other. You can't experience good without knowing that there's bad or experiencing bad. We are humans, and that's how we do comparison. So there's evil to show us good, and there's good to show us evil, or to see that evil exists. Evil exists to show us that there's good. You can talk around it all you want, and I did it for 30 years. But yeah, we understand the fallacies. Both you and Richard have these thoughts before before. The information isn't new, related as many times. You think he's still trying to understand. Good and evil are the results of a dynamic that God created. Right? Absolutely. You can't realize how ultimately good something is without ultimate evil. And I think we're seeing a lot of ultimate evil now and then. What's up, Space Cowboy? Let me see if I can find one more real quick, and we'll go one with it. All right. Let me see. There was one really good that I watched. Let me see. That's an hour long, but I would like to just find a little part of it. That's 2 hours long. All right, let me just see if I can find one.
Science is based on the doctrine of discovery, and discovery invites discussion, invites dialogue, it invites dissent.
Well, you just said something that's not quite right. I would say science should invite discovery.
That's right.
Should invite dissent. But it's just the opposite.
It almost becomes religious at times from some people.
Exactly. It is a religion. What do you do when people start picking on your religion and you have not a good apologetic answer? You cry foul and you say you're coming at my religion, and you get violent and you try to shut them up because they're picking on your religion. And that's what they're doing in this area.
Right. Dude, I'm telling you, if you want the hardcore science, get it from both angles and make a decision. The problem with the evolution side is you're missing a lot, and he fills it in. The dude's been a professor for like 30 years. He teaches at damn it. Let me see if it's on here. I want to say. Starts with a P. I can't remember where it is, but dude, it's brilliant, and he breaks it down every single slide. He tears everybody apart. He tears them apart. Everything they do in Origin of Life is they cheat. They mix a bunch of stuff together. They get a bunch of results. They find the one thing they're looking for, and they say, okay, we found it. They throw everything away and they order fresh version of the one thing they found. Then they do things again and they get a whole bunch of mess, and then they find one combination, but they have all this tar, so they throw all that away and then they order again what they wanted. Nothing self-assembles. Everything goes towards tar, and he goes really, really, really good into it. What's up, Catsby? Do you recall your favorite snack, brownies? Aluminum is a fascinating element, often called the wingman of the modern industry because of the strength-to-weight ratio. It's the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust. No search millimeter experiment once. Built Arginine from literally molecules, perfectly Earth conditioned. Right, we built it, dude. We built it. Don't you understand? We are the intelligent designer that's turning the knobs to make it happen. Why can't American people pronounce aluminium? Whatever we built had to use something that was already there. Right. People don't understand this because the scientists take themselves, atheist scientists take themselves out of the equation because they spent 27 hours and $15 million mixing something together and get part of a protein. Doesn't mean anything, because you've got to look at how they did it. You can't just take their response. You've got to look at their chemistry. You got to see what they did, and when they said, okay, we discovered this, now we're going to throw everything away because there's too much bull crap in this, and there's right and left chirality, so we got to throw all that away, order fresh sterile chemicals, and then move forward. And that's what they do every single time. And that's when I started to get doubt. I was like, let me start actually reading the papers. Let me start looking and everybody's full of shit. Once we understand consciousness, we will find the creator. I agree, my brother. Do you recall Euro Asian Bob? Let's look him up. Can I get a shout out? My name is, Sheedy Nappy. What up, Sheedy Nappy? He's got a Sheedy Nappy. I love the internet. Right. And I think a big problem is we don't understand that we're trying to take the place of God. We're saying because we can do this, God, that it can be done without us. No, we can do it because we can do it. Nature didn't do it on its own, and that's the problem, is we are the ones that have to move chemicals apart, heat some to certain temperatures, distill some, and do stuff like that. That can't all happen in a puddle of muck. Euro Asian Bob, let's see. And I get excitable sometimes, but it's because that's where I was too. Yeah, I used to tear everybody apart. I used to be you stupid religious bunks. Yeah, and now I'm completely the opposite. And I had to learn past it, because you have to realize you're being deceived. And because we don't want to read the entire paper. We don't want to see how the chemistry was done. But they show it in their papers. How when they mix it, they say we've got 16 billion results, finding 94 of what we wanted. So then we purchased a billion of what we wanted in a fresh mass, and they move on. And it's lie after lie after lie. But it does work. But they spent millions of dollars to make a part of a protein of all kinds of sterile stuff, sorted stuff. Euro Asian Bob. Let's look at him. I don't think. Oh yes, I remember him. Yeah, absolutely. Euro Asian Bob. Yeah, you made him aluminium. Yeah, dude. I know, and it's tough because we've believed for so long, and it's just been lies. It's all lies. I've been over this hill already. Unfortunately, I've battled with the religion a very long time. My local mind still toils with it, but many convinces still stump me. No, brother, listen. Listen. It took me till I was in my mid 40s. I like to believe that I can let everybody know that obviously I've spent a lot of time deep in the knowledge that so I can respond to answers for about any topic very, very quickly. I spent a lot of time. I do not understand quantum computing, brother. It's trash also. So quantum computing requires a very expensive setup that cools things down to near like very, 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 very cold temperatures, and it can do some things very quickly, but it's not a general purpose computer. So it can do like addition very quickly, but then in order to do subtraction or division, you've got to actually physically remanipulate the machine, and it's the size of like a room, and so you can do some things very fast. But if you said compile this game, it would take 17 years because of them, and billions of dollars, because you'd have to pay for all kinds of like liquid nitrogen, liquid oxygen, liquid helium, cooling, and all this stuff. Well, let's look into it. Then which religion is the truth? This is the problem, right? Which religion is the truth? So the thing is, once you realize that everything is deception, use the same knowledge it took you to get to realizing everything is deception, and then look at your options, and then look at the people. Start looking at the historical documents that talk about what's in each main religious book, from like the main 3 or 4, and then you'll start to find you can find non-Christian, non-Jewish, non-Muslim, like atheist papers, newspapers back in the Roman eras, and carvings and stuff that are talking about what happened at those times, and they match up with. And just do that on your own when you have time. I'll show you how long it took me. All right, just getting through one book. Let's see. And this is this week will be filled with good news. I broke something. Come on. Hold on one second. Do you recall your favorite digging tool? Pickaxe. It's not something you can paraphrase or teach. It's something. Right. That's the thing. That's why it's considered a personal relationship. This is why I don't like mega churches and stuff like that. I think they're mostly wrong and horrible. Like I was completely turned off. I think you guys are all a bunch of sheep, this, and that. And then, sir, my comments got skipped. Please read. Brother, I don't see it, my friend. No search Miller experiment once where arginine, literally molecules, perfect Earth conditions. You're talking about the Urey Miller experiment, brother. I already know it. The Urey Miller experiment. No, it's absolutely wrong. It's absolutely wrong. They made this is going to shake you up, brother. All right, let me think.
The Miller experiment was a tremendous advance because it was the first time somebody stopped talking and actually went in the lab and tried to do something. It created a lot of excitement, but it's been 75 years and we haven't gone very far.
I say this all the time, man. I am so glad you said it before I did. And this is a guy who worked with Stanley Miller. We may be able to approach the target a little bit more, but what happens is the target moves much further away from us because we learn the complexity of what is in a cell.
The amount of discoveries in biochemistry that have happened since the Miller-Urey experiment changes the
1950s.
game. It's so much more complex than the target they had back in mind back then. The structure of DNA was
They didn't know about that during the
announced
Miller
Right about
experiment.
that
same
Miller.
year
Yeah, right about that time.
as the Stanley Miller, 1953. The target that Stanley had when he started his experiment, they didn't even know what DNA was.
Right.
And that's how juvenile the field of biochemistry was. It's grown up a lot. And with each new discovery, the target for abiogenesis gets further away.
Abiogenesis is self happening life. It's so the Urey Miller experiment is what started all this confusion. Urey and Miller did not know about DNA, so they did all this and they made a big puddle of slime and found some partial parts of proteins in there, but it didn't create DNA. It didn't do any of that, and it never. And then for 75 years we've been looking more, and we've been getting farther and farther away. But there's still. It got so popular and so in the news. And so many people started their so many people started their careers on this, and then as evidence came against it, it got pushed to the side. You got called a religious kook. Go back to your Bible, because billions of dollars would be lost because they were wrong. Just because you can do this, just because you can do the Urey Miller experiment, you make tar, and people have tried to redo it. But the thing is, what they did is after they found something, they cleaned everything up and they threw everything away. And they said, now that because we found this, let's buy a bunch of it, clean and fresh, and continue. I promise you, my friend, I've done my research. Do you know the Roller Coaster Tycoon was built using machine code 1 or 0? I think it used assembly language. I don't think it used binary. Roller Coaster Tycoon in binary. It was written in assembly, my brother. Assembly, not binary. But I can understand the confusion. Do you recall your favorite writing utensil? Pencil. Branded toilet paper, bidet, Roller Coaster Tycoon was good. Yeah, that would be crazy, brother. Out of faith, what's there's creator, and that's it, brother. It takes a lot. Look, it took me freaking 40 years to get there, man. It took me a lot, and I was an atheist, making fun of people. The problem is we never hear the other side of the argument, and we don't really realize how deceptive these people are. People will lie, cheat, and steal for power, money, and fame. Diddy's in a cell. What up, plastic? What the fuck is Keanu Reeves in 10 years? How old's Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves. No. Keanu Reeves. He's 61. What do you mean, dude? I'm 49. Faith in what? Anything. The most primitive form of human onwards. We speed up the process. It takes tens to build a, tens A to build. We speed up the process. It takes tens to build a 10A to build a B, so we skip the time and take N to build a B and go on time like that. Right, you'll realize you're using time in the gaps. But then when you start to actually look at how long the Earth could actually have been cooled down for the science to start, we don't have that much time. They say the Earth is 13.8 billion years old, but it would have been starting to cool. And in order for it to cool to the point it's at now, it wouldn't be 13.8 billion years that the chemistry started. I'm telling you, my friend, I'm telling you, I love you, brother, and I love the search you're on. I've already did the search. I understand you're still weary about the religion part. but you don't need to get to the religion part. You just got to take the information I'm giving you and get past. You have to know that you've been just being lied to. They've just been deceptive to be famous and rich. They've deceived you and deceived you. And everybody, because nobody goes and checks for themselves. It's non-binary plastic. He sold his soul in exchange for celebrity. That's why I look so young. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Yeah, and so this guy's actually, and the guy we just saw, life had 4 billion years. We know chemical evolution started about 4 billion years ago. How do you know? Brother, how do you know? How do you know? How does anybody know? How do we know? How do you know it was 4 billion years? We got no idea. You got no idea. These are called theories. We have no clue. We got no clue. We can't age anything that old. We have no idea. We cannot. The Earth would have recycled itself. Do you understand how plate tectonics work? The Earth recycles itself. You don't have 4 billion years. You don't. You have 4 hours to make RNA. You got 4 hours. You don't have billions of years. You're using time in the gaps, my brother. I promise you. We can look back in time through telescopes, but not, dude, you have to, you start throwing other stuff in. We're talking about the Earth. Everything had to be done on the Earth that we're talking about. And the Earth doesn't have 4 billion years. It might be 16 billion years old, but it wouldn't have cooled down enough to start chemistry for water to even condense on Earth. It wouldn't happen. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. The Bible offers some very good guidelines on how life should be lived, some proven by psychological studies as well. Isn't such a bad thing. Right. And the Quran does the same. Agreed, Timothy. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. And that's what I always say. Pick one. They all give great guidance to live by. You got to know that you've been lied to about the evolution thing. We've got rocks on Earth that were made in 1980 that if you test them, they test back to 125 million years. That doesn't work. It should be 40 years old. So let me show you. Mount St. Helens aging problem. Mount St. Helens. Okay, look. The aging problem, young 1980s rock says it was 2.8 million years old. Sorry, I was off. This discrepancy caused by excess argon is used by creationists to challenge conventional radiometric dating, while mainstream geology views it as a limitation in dating very young volcanic rocks. The technology does not work. We thought it did until we had something, because we only had make-believe. We only had thoughts, theories to say this probably means it's this old. But then we got fresh rock and it aged wrong. So they said, okay, then we're not really sure. But the problem is, since the 1950s, they've been promoting things like it was true. They're wrong. It would be mathematically. It would have. No, you haven't, dude. Anyways, I won't stand around all day. These words, just my own ideas, constantly changing. Always open to commentary. Listen, there's theories on it, but you can't say the word proven because it hasn't been proven. Let's see. How old is the world proven to be? Let's see what it says. Okay, and this is funny too, because it says proven and approximately in the same sentence. Proven to approximately be 45 with a margin error of 0.5. The age. Okay, and here's the problem. Look, through radiometric dating of the oldest, the problem is they're wrong. I just showed you that. They're wrong. They don't know. They use assumptions to find out, to think how old things would be. We got fresh new rock that should be 0 days old, and it records back to say it's 2 billion years old or whatever it was. They don't know. I don't know. I promise. I'm not even Christian. If that helps, not in any respect. I wonder if the radiocarbon. So this is a problem. You shouldn't. Here's another problem about the lies. You shouldn't be able to. You should not be able to date diamonds. They should have 0 carbon-14 in them. Watch this. The carbon-14 problem with coal. Let's see. Okay, the carbon-14 problem with coal, the persistent detection of measurable carbon-14. Carbon-14 can only be dated back to 50 to 80 million years, or 50 to 80,000 years. So coal is supposed to have been 10 billion years old or whatever, 2 billion years old. But it has a half-life of only 5,730 years, meaning coal samples should not be older than 100,000 years. They're wrong. They just keep talking like it's true. I'm not Muslim either. The rock is that old. It's dug out of the earth. No, it's not dug. This was lava. Do you know, brother? Listen, respectfully. Do you know how dating works? How the polonium lead dating works? It counts when rock hardens. The chemistry resets, and it wants to find the ratio from polonium and lead. Molten rock, the ratio should be equal to the assertion, and it's not. And the thing is, we've never tested against it. It was a guess. It was a best guess because we never tested lava before. We've only ever tested hard rock. I promise, brother. Please, you're saying it like it's true, and it's not true. The rock's always older than how long ago it was melt. You have to understand. This chat, not this chat. This ain't sus. Okay, key aspects of the issue. Okay, and you're going to see what you're talking about. You're talking about conventional. Okay, conventional contradiction. Conventional geologic. Hold on, sorry. Let me screen this down a little bit. Conventional geographic dating places coal in the Carniferous period, 300 million years. Okay, so they say if you dig down this far, it should be 300 million years old. Okay, yet accelerator mass spectrometry often yields it at a range of 30 to 50,000 years. So geologists said this deep in the earth is 300 million years old by the depth. And they're wrong. Because nobody was there 30 to 50,000 years ago and said, okay, there's no coal here and now there's coal here. Start the timer. I promise you. Does anyone have any ibuprofen? Okay, the creationist perspective. The presence of carbon-14 is cited that evidence is coal is not millions of years old. And this is what he was saying, the guy we were just watching. He says, when using your own tools against you to prove you wrong, people will still say, no, we're right. So they say, look, carbon-14 proves that it's this old. And then we say, okay, carbon-14 proves that it's not. And he's like, well, hold on. No, it's melt. And then gymnastics. We're using the same tools. People have just been lying, my brother. Mainstream. The detection of carbon-14 is generally attributed to contamination from modern sources, microbial life, or in situ production from other radioactive materials in the surrounding rock, rather than intrinsic to the original coal. So that means that it might be contaminated. But then what else is contaminated? They don't know. It's theory. I got you ibuprofen. I knew what to. Sorry about that. Sorry. And this is the thing. This is the same thing that I went through because I kept being like, no. I was taught this. Yeah. And here, let me show this real quick, and then I'll get over it. Okay, measurement limitations. Because the amount of carbon-14 is so low, it's close to the background noise of measuring equipment, leading to debate whether the signal is real or instrumental. And the thing is, because they have nothing to test it against, they don't have a known rock of 300 million years old. Their sensors say it was. But they might just be wrong. The sensor might say there's this much in it, and we think that means 300 million years, but then we find things that are younger than that, it detects the same way. I apologize. I know it's upsetting, and I know you're getting mad at me. because I got mad at a lot of people too. But this is the problem with the way we got to where we are in the world. We let liars take the helm and teach us bullshit because they wanted to say, I know how everything works, and we all believed it. And now we all believed it for so long, and our great grandfathers told us the same thing, and now it's all coming out that it's all bullcrap. And now they won't even take the evidence, even from freaking PhDs that are making inventions to help save the world. It's absolutely crazy. The more pills, the better. No. Yeah, I apologize. We'll move on from it. We'll move on from it. But I know where he's at. I was there, and so that's why I can appreciate it and give him some grace. And that's why I know I have a response for him instantly, because these are the responses that were given to me. He's crazy. That's good. Richard gives me a pain in the A. Sorry. But I'm not trying to win an argument and be like, no, you're stupid. I'm like, no, we've got the data. Oh, you said diamond. Sorry, we'll do one more thing. All right. Carbon-14 in diamonds. He got rich hot. Carbon-14. Okay, here's the problem. So diamonds should be so old that there's no carbon-14 left, and there's still carbon-14. It's been detected in natural diamonds, which is controversial, because the short 5,730-year half-life means it disappeared in under 100,000 years, far sooner than the billion-year age usually assigned to diamonds. Creationists argue this proves a young Earth, while critics say it may result from contamination. But you don't know. So that's what I'm saying. There's proof for and against, and no one can know for sure. Chat's been cool today. Thank you. The chat's been cool today. I can raise the temperature. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, and this is what we got to help each other with. We got to help each other know that everything's crap. I mean, look at all the lies we heard over the past 4 years about everything, and then all the science, and we're told to trust the science. Who would tell you to trust something but a liar? You know, this is what I do. The rabbit hole should take us down, so it keeps me coming back. Thank you, Borg, brother. Hey, dude. I had to crawl out of a lot of them, man. It was rough. My entire identity was freaking atheist scientist. That now I'm like, oops. Because at least, and this is the problem with people that would lose their entire career, like people that have written books speaking like this stuff was the truth, speaking like, no, I tested it. It was 75 billion years old. And then somebody says, well, we tested it too, and it's not. Wait a second, you weren't supposed to do that. You weren't supposed to do that. And now you see, look at the liars. Look at the Epstein file liars. The people that run the world are diddling around with some shit, and they're like, hey, as long as we can keep these lies up, we can keep ourselves super rich, and we can be the ones that people look to for the answers. And when somebody says, oh, there's COVID that's coming out, you better listen to the scientists that say this. But the ones that say, well, maybe not, you don't listen to any of that. And it's absolutely crazy. It's easy to fool someone. It's easier to fool someone than to convince them they've been fooled. I agreed 100%. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I have had an existential crisis for 6 months now. Brother. Hey, Robert, you still in here, brother? Do you know what it's based on? Is it based on the whole, what like, is it, would you like to talk about it? If you don't want to talk about it in public, you can hit the Discord up, brother. I'm pretty good at solving existential crises. Didn't Epstein talk to Bill Gates about causing a pandemic? Yes. And there's crazy shit saying he wanted to get the whole world pregnant. He wanted the whole world to have his babies. And now there's crazy talk about his DNA was in all of the shots. It's crazy. I mean, I got no proof on whether it actually happened, but there is talk about it. It's crazy. Based on yeah, brother. Yeah, brother, I got you. I tell you what. The problem is I had the same thing because I listened to everybody looking for explanations instead of going on a search myself. And I tell you, it sucks because it's not usually till like retirement that we have enough time in life to actually sit down and do the research. And there's so much crap that you need to learn. And the reason I know so much about so many topics is because I was searching for that, just like you. So I had to learn the math I didn't know. I had to learn the science and chemistry I didn't know. I had to learn the astrophysics that I didn't know. Yeah, and it was that's what it was on. It was from my existential crisis, and what I got down to is once you get on the intelligent design kick and you see all the proof for intelligent design and all the scientists that are switching sides from atheist, and even Elon Musk is now a Christian. You know, it's like, I mean, I don't think he's a Christian, but he's a creationist. I don't think he's chosen a religion, but he's just like, yeah, we're definitely created. I don't mean anything nefarious here, but just by the nature of Twisting Flux channel, imagine what Richard's search history is like. It's freaking nuts. I'll show you guys. I mean, obviously you could all just rewind to see it, but yeah, it's crazy. No one would know if I'm a Republican or a Democrat or a liberal or a conservative because I talk about everything and we look everything up. I don't know how to do that. Just click on here. We're looking up everything that was done with an A. Oops, sorry. A, dude. Oh, everything's gonna be in like B, C, D, E. Y'all waiting for P. Oh. There ain't no Pornhub, anybody. I don't fuck with that. And there ain't no OnlyFans. There ain't no OnlyFans. I don't know. He's taking one for the team. Even Elon, damn, left him hard. Glad to hear he's human. Right. Yeah. So, I know he's burning his phone up, Googling, trying to be like, no, please show me the proof. And the problem is with confirmation bias is if you believe something, you ask ChatGPT if it's true, it will give you the evidence that it is. But then if you ask if it's false, it'll give you evidence that it is. That's the way we search for things. That's the problem, because we don't understand what hypothesis and theory is, and we didn't understand deception. We don't understand how much we've been lied to. And then when one guy came up with an idea and then he was in a research and there's all these other scientists and PhDs that are teaching that what he taught. So one liar exponentially explodes into the education system. You know, think about all the lies in health. You know, I mean, you'll find them, and this is why I'm so adamant on finding my own health protocol. Like knowing that there's more than just the American Google, you know, and then you can look at what other countries do about health issues and whatnot, and finding your own ways. I worked in virology surveillance a lot, looking for what happened the other side, the same as the equator, hoping it stays the same. Hoping it stays the same, yeah. Group think and group in, group out bias, good psychology to brush up on. You'll learn very quickly people act the way when you come to choosing sides. We need to make a Shito award. Shito, Ghana's best. Yeah. It's so amazing how when we decide at a very young age that we've been lied to about God at 13 years old or whatever. And I think it has to do with the Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus thing. We believe, oh, well, God's probably fake too. And then so we go, everything we learn reinforces that nature made us, that we never even think to look. But we're so young when we made those decisions. We're so young when we said, oh no, I'm a 16-year-old atheist scientist. What did you know at 16? Nothing. You didn't even know freaking what side of the toilet to pee on. And now you get to the age where you're like, okay, let's find some. I got time to tear these freaking these religious folk apart. And then I started with science. Ghana. Wait, Santa isn't real. He's a mushroom. Yeah, it's a. We're all gonna be okay. All right, Lamb's got something for us. Video unavailable, Lamb. I'm telling my mom. Can you admit you might be wrong about something? Can I? Absolutely. Listen, 100%, because I want to know as much as I can. If I'm wrong, I absolutely, and you, like last stream we were talking about the genetic thing, and I was wrong. I mean, I was still right about, I was just incorrect about something, but absolutely. That's, I think, why I can learn so well. The problem with not being able to admit you're wrong just means you're not willing to learn the truth. You're not being able to learn what's right. And when people will not listen to the other side, this is why you got liberal and freaking conservative fighting over stuff. And most of them are on the same side about everything but a handful of topics: abortion, trans, and freaking immigration. And it's like, but they won't find a common ground. And I know that I've been lied to for so long that I don't want to lie to anybody. I want to be the guy on the internet that will help you find the truth. And if I don't know it, and most mass knowledge is to keep people spending their money and learning from the same institutions and doing the same thing. But why is there still $1 million colleges to go to learn about theism? Why is there still so much money in it? Why is there so many, oh, Santa's real, you crossed them. I meant Easter Bunny. Have you looked at how important the blue LED technology? Dude, I talked about this the other day. So there is no white LED. The white LED doesn't exist. So the blue LED was so important because there was no white. And we had red and green and yellow, but RGB could blend together to make white light. So what we do now is we take a blue or an ultraviolet LED and we put a phosphor on it. That's why white LEDs, if you look at them, they have a yellow drop of goop on them. So when UV light or the blue light hits it, it puts off a white light. The phosphor is doing that, not the LED, right? So the holy grail is the white LED, phosphorless white LED. Santa's real. I saw him at the mall. I sat on his lap. Well, you have opinions. Just like I do. Right. Yeah. Blue. Yeah. Let's look it up. All right. Did you make it better, Lamb? It's still unavailable, jerk. Yeah, let's look it up. The history of the blue LED.
LEDs don't get their color from their plastic covers, and you can see that because here is a transparent LED that also glows the same red color. The color of the light comes from the electronics themselves.
Right.
In 1962, General Electric engineer Nick Holonyak created the first visible LED. It glowed a faint red. A few years after that, engineers at Monsanto created a green LED. But for decades, all we had were those two colors. If only we could make blue. Then we could mix red, green, and blue to make white and every other color, unlocking LEDs for every type of lighting in the world. But blue was almost impossible to make. Throughout the 1960s, every big electronics company in the world, from IBM to GE to Bell Labs, raced to create the blue LED. They knew it would be worth billions. Shuji Nakamura was a researcher at a small Japanese chemical company named Nishia. They were competing against far more established companies in a crowded market, and they were losing. Tensions started to run high. Younger employees begged Nakamura to create new products, while senior workers called his research a waste of money. By 1988, Nakamura's supervisors were so disillusioned with his research that they told him to quit. So it was out of desperation that he brought a radical proposal to the company's founder and president, Nobuo Ogawa.
Additive color theory. Let's go.
The
There's so much
elusive
ultraviolet
blue
everywhere. It would be a
LED
theme.
the likes
It's
of
awesome.
Sony, Toshiba, and Panasonic had all failed at. What if Nishia could be the one to create it?
Ah. Where's part 2?
World just filled with yellowish, inefficient bulbs, or
These color
screens that
sensors
couldn't
that
even
work.
show the
Yeah,
color blue.
Yeah.
This is a world that's hard to imagine.
Absolutely important. Absolutely, like one of the most important things is color. We don't even. I mean, a lot of people realize it, but most of us as the lay people don't realize how important color sensor. Just for like trying to find toxins in foods, pharmaceuticals, and whatnot. What up, Riggy?
Right? Well, for many of us, this is a reality. But in the 90s, 3 scientists, Shuji Nakamura, Isamu Akazaki, and Hishiro Amano, changed light forever. For decades, engineers had figured out how to make red and green LEDs. But the third piece of the puzzle,
Oh, is it
blue
Master
light,
Pickle
was
Maker?
missing. Without blue, we
It's a
can't mix with
racist
other
James
colors to
Bond,
get
oh,
white
man.
light. And
What
without
are the
white
oranges of plain
LEDs, the dream of
obsolescence?
energy
Well,
efficient
yeah,
lighting and vivid digital
all the light
displays
bulb
wasn't
companies.
possible. But enter our 3 scientists. Finally, they were able to create gallium nitride crystals, a material that was stable and bright enough to emit blue light. However, this was a material science nightmare. But they were able to stabilize and further produce it through the years of trial and error, through precise engineering, and through innovation. Their success created the world's first ever blue LED, unlocking our ability to create white light just by combining red, green, and blue. From a single wavelength of light came a revolution in how we work, see, and live. So, how much of the world around you now?
Yeah, pretty cool. All right, Lamb. Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Lovely lamb lunch, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a faulty one, isn't it?
The repair
Really?
shop.
So,
Interstellar theme
we'll go
can't
the-
go
the
wrong.
Westy pair.
Detect poisonous
I
cucumbers.
can't fucking see a thing with no glasses on.
In a
So,
field, gotcha.
You spit like the old, you know the, what's it called? Some program about, refurbishing stuff. So this is what I'll be doing. So we're going to do mine. Well, I thought I would adapt an old broken coat hanger and I repurpose it. Lovely. What's that? Well, my old dad. It's my old dad's really.
Me old dad's.
Loves this coat hanger, and he would have broken his heart if you found out that the top of it had gone away. But
the top of it gone
that
away.
gives me. Whenever I look at this, I think of my dad. What? Because he was what, sort of sturdy and reliable. No, he's very wiry.
Probably gonna get a copyright for this. Three hours later, take some tea. I'll call it pickle making technique.
Oh mate, you're working out your face. Your workout.
Nah. Nice try. He almost changed the world with his. Yeah, he's funny. Lamb's funny. He's on the team. Stop the madness. You're making my eyes bleed. All right, where are we at? 9:30. Oh, you know I didn't even do this. Okay, I need to. Let me see. Come on. All right, where are we at? You know, I forgot. Also, that's how Lamb invented the auto. What was I going to look up before? Oh, planned obsolescence, right, of light bulbs. Oh, did you guys ever hear about that? Okay, so all of the light bulb companies in like the late early 1900s all decided that they were all going to work together. And this is in the late 1800s, early 1900s. They're all going to work together to scam everybody to make sure they wouldn't make a light bulb that lasted over 2,000 hours and to all work together. Like this was called the Phoebus cartel, I believe. Crazy innovations of few. It's crazy the inventions that have the few effects nearly part of our lives and we don't even know their names, right? The inventors. Yeah. All right, watch this. It's called the Phoebus cartel. The Phoebus cartel. PBS. Phoebus. Phoebus cartel. Founded in 1924, major light bulb manufacturers, General Electric, Philip, and Osram's a global conspiracy to control the light bulb market. Planned obsolescence by restricting light bulbs to 1,000 hours to increase sales, effectively setting international standard for reducing competition. So the entire world in 1924, there was no internet or anything, and people were conspiring to take over world markets. And we think any other science is the same way. Every other piece of science that comes together, they say, how can we get as much from the entire world as possible? This has been going on since 1924. I could have swore it was the 1800s. Maybe it was the Phoenix cartel. But yeah, but think about how like why computers are like the same speed now that they were 30 years ago, or like even slower, even though they're 100 times more than 1,000 times faster. I had a 4 megahertz machine that would open up like pretty quick, and then now I got a 4,000 megahertz machine, and it takes freaking 30 seconds to do things. It's absolutely crazy. If you consider humans 2,000. Well, we're definitely older than 2,000. Jesus was born 2,026 years ago. Contraceptive. Watch my video and you go, yeah, right. You got off sex. Look up the story about how Egyptian prince woke up next to the Sphinx. All right, hold on. Let's watch Space Cowboys thing real quick. Then we'll go to yours. Oh, jeez. I don't know what this crazy shit is.
Hello, what you got there? A bowling ball? Hello, what you got there? A bowling ball?
It's so crazy that it doesn't even blow the guy into the correct direction. And it's so freaking crazy. It's all in the drop shadows. All right, Egyptian prince who woke up next to the Sphinx. Egyptian prince who awoke next to the Sphinx. Ah, freaking hate. Okay, well that sucks. I don't know what that was about. Oh. All right, let's see. Egyptian prince who woke next to the Sphinx. Thutmose the Fifth.
It's quite evident that Thutmose IV never expected to become king. His father was on the throne, and his older brother was the crown prince next in line for the throne.
Okay, never saw a video.
However,
both
both his older brother and his father
yeah, I've seen it.
disappeared from the scene of
it's
action.
pretty realistic.
About the
That's
same
hefty
time.
CGI.
What could possibly...
All right, let's see here. Let's try to find something that's a little bit brought to life with AI. Oh, wow. That's freaking creepy. He doesn't have a good Egyptian nose. He needs a nice big nose like mine. A little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. Give him a staff. Oh, you got a raise. Thutmose, do you recall your favorite AI video of freaking crayons? Yeah, we're watching it. Rasmusus the Third. Ramius? Rasmusus. Marcus Ramius the Legend. No, I don't even see who that is. Ramses? Ramses? Ramses the Third.
An Egyptian queen murdering the pharaoh might sound like a better plot for the Scorpion King. Absolutely no disrespect to The Rock there, but this isn't fiction. It really happened with the assassination of Ramses III. Over 3,000 years ago, during the reign of Ramses III, Egypt was a land of immense wealth. But even the greatest rulers make enemies. And for Ramses III, those enemies came from within his own palace. In the royal harem, one of his wives, Queen Tiye, was plotting to kill him. She wasn't the queen mother, and her son, Prince Pentawere, wasn't the rightful heir to the throne. But she had a plan to change that. She built a network of allies, palace officials, servants, and even magicians. They plotted in the shadows to cast spells and make their plan. And when it came, it was brutal. Ramses III may have been poisoned at first, but the final blow was unmistakable. A blade across the throat. Scientists only found physical evidence of this in 2012, when they conducted a CT scan to see that beneath the bandages, he had a deep cut through his windpipe. But the assassination of Ramses III left a scar on Egypt itself. And within a century, Egypt was no longer the empire it had once been. Let us know in the comments what other assassinations you'd be interested in learning about.
Gordon Ramsay the Third. This freaking guy.
No, because the nose, I was a skateboarder.
Dad had that burger earlier.
I broke my nose last skateboarding. Your diet and mental health is...
He's
your
watching
diet
me.
is your mental health a lot more than you know. You can't have good mental health without a good diet. You can't. You need to put... If you smoke cigarettes, if you drink, if you smoke weed, any of these things, you lower your body's ability to absorb nutrition from the food you put in your body. So you have to... Lord, no, because the nose...
Someone, what up, Michael? Someone became power after seeing the Sphinx in the sand. Look it up afterwards. Someone became power after seeing the Sphinx in the sand. Look it up. Look up. What up, Thadiel? The deal for real? Don't copyright. Yeah, I won't copyright strike you, brother. All right, Space Cow. Adam's got something. Uh-oh, it's been a while. Space Ranger, is that you? What the hell is this?
Down alligator. I drive a Chevrolet movie theater. Interior crocodile alligator. I drive a Chevrolet movie theater.
Frickin' it's like it's happening. It's freaking unbelievable. Anyone got SOT? I don't even know what SOT is. Get down with SOT, yeah, you know me. Get down with SOT. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Now we're on the AI freaking wackadoos. I love this stuff, dude. This is so great.
Getting out of hand. Look at that speed for a man that size. Plants it up.
For a man that size.
Charging down the runway. Plants in. Massive bend here. He's up. Over the post. Powering down the runway. Pole set. Eyes locked on the bar. Let's go. Plants in.
Let's go.
He's up. Inverted. Clearing. Over the top. He got it. He got it. Here he goes. Driving down the runway.
One-handed.
Steady in his hands. Come on. Massive bend. And he's up. Over the bar. Coming down the runway. runway now. Look at the speed he's carrying for a man of his size. He's charging down
For a
the runway.
speed for a man of his size. For a man of his size. SOT. Sea of Thieves. I don't even know what Sea of Thieves is. That's my hidden fake account for sharing purposes. You're on Sea of Thieves, Lamb? I don't even know what that is. I love this stuff. I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid too, but somebody asked favorite AI video, and then that's what we get. I've never heard of Sea of Thieves. I don't even know what it is. Sea of Thieves. Oh, is it a video game? Video game? Oh, wow, it looks pretty freaking cute. I don't even know what, Lamb has no idea. Lamb has a, he's got a Genesis Master System. He's got a Sega Master System. Sega Genesis. Is it Sega Genesis or Master System? Are they both the same thing? Yeah, that's definitely not real. Oh, man. Santa Israel, you crossed the line. Naval combat PvP. Yeah, the only games I play on stream. Like my freaking day is chocked. Like if I've got any available time and if I've got time while I'm doing things around my neighborhood, I'll stream while doing it. And if not, I stream or I record something. But yeah, I don't have any of my gaming time is on stream. And the only game I've only played 2, 3, maybe a half dozen games on stream. Sega pre Genesis, right. War Thunder I've heard of a million times. Noticing a trend here. You down with OPP? What up, Curb Stomping? Welcome back, brother. Welcome back, brother. My Curb Stomping Diddy Blood reminds me that I still have to download War Thunder. Or Mega Drive as it was called. That was with the CD-ROM on it, right? Sega with the CD-ROM? Sega Mega Drive. Yeah. Oh no, I guess not. I thought it was the CD-ROM. No, it was called the Mega Drive. I'm sorry, my apologies. I'm wrong. Hey, see Wyatt, I'm wrong. Can you dress like Santa? If I got to. If I must dress like Santa. What was I missing here? You know what, SOT? Yeah, you know me. It's 1986. Dude, listen, I like playing the old, where's it at? That was my freaking controller. I like playing the old, Nintendo, the 8-bit Nintendo, not even the SNES, but the NES, the 80s freearcade.com has got like 400 games all in browser. And you can use your controller and whatnot with it. It's pretty dang cool. You recall your last confession? I told your mom I didn't pull out. Sorry. I'm only human. Do you play PC? Yes, please PC. I have a Minecraft server up and running for if you connect to the Discord, you can play that if you play Minecraft. Yeah, that's awesome. 40 years. You got the zinger. Dude, I got the zingers. I'm pretty good every once in a while. All right, let me close some of this stuff down here. Zing. Freaking wackadoodle AI shit, dude. Okay, let's see. Let me shrink this down a little bit. Oh, come on. HHL. Dude, if it was firing eggs out of its bunghole, that would be even better. Can you imagine how rough of a ride that would be? Het loose? Hell let loose. Het loose. Hell let loose. Let me see. I've never heard of it. Hell let loose. Oh, there's lamb. You'll be traumatized. Dude, I played, what's it called, and I was traumatized. What was it called? What's the game we played on stream? Overwatch, Overcast, Over Scared. Hell let loose. Can't remember what it was called. Oh, Vietnam.
Notice.
Oh, damn. So you're like watching. Damn.
Okay.
That's rough, dude.
There he is.
Oh, man. That's violent.
What the?
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Are you serious? What are these guys doing, man? Oh, whoever placed that garrison is an asshole.
Holy Jesus.
You know what? I actually appreciate his stupidity.
Yeah.
I do.
Damn. That's rough. I got a couple 100 hours in Dirt Rally too. Yeah, you've brought that up a bunch. Yeah. A few things that damage, you should convert your chickens into one of those. Put 49cc on that. Have you played Team Fortress 2? I played Counter-Strike 2. I don't play Team Fortress. The only thing I really play now is Minecraft because we got a server. The community plays it. No hit markers, no kill markers. The American War, the Vietnam War does look sickly like the Firestorm game. Insurgency Sandstorm. Insurgency Sandstorm. All right. Oh, let me do this. Let me do this instead.
I'll tell you. I've always had so much fun hopping in and playing Sandstorm. It's been a blast.
He sounds very positive too.
And it's like, for me, it's comfortable. A few weeks ago, I had a video talking about how Battlefield feels like home, how the Battlefield 6 feels like home. And this is one of those games as well that just, it's home to me.
It's home to me. Killing people in video games. No, I don't. I don't ever listen. The only skins I've ever used in any games was what people have made for me in the community, and I didn't use anything in Counter-Strike. You should play by mud. Yeah, do you have an IP address for it? What are you connecting to it through? I'll play it. Absolutely, we can play it on stream. Put some hours into Double Dragon on the Sega. It's a freaking great game. My name is Mud. Private First Class. Shinobi's a great one too. Yes, dude. I played that. I put so many quarters in that game. Shinobi arcade gameplay. Dude, this was such a good game, dude. Dude, I mean, the graphics were. This is what we spent our freaking thousands of hours of. I'm 49, so we just played this for. Look at this. Now you got a gun. I hope he gets to the part where you're throwing the freaking shurikens. Here it is. No. Ah, that was just what's going on. Double Dragon, you can beat up your buddy. Yep, that's right. The elbow, right? Yep. And the back kick, the flying back kick. I run my mod off my PC. Unfortunately, my IP changes. It's not so ready for players. Yeah, you got, this is Shinobi, an old ass game, 1990 something. Let me see if I can find. Or maybe it was Shinobi 2. Yeah, dude, this is what we used to play back in the day. Like, look at the freaking graphics, dude. Look at that.
Mission 5.
This is what we used to play back in the 90s. I could port forward. Yeah, that's what you'd have to do. You could do a port forward and then just do, once you do a port, whatever port you're forwarding to the MUD, and then then you can just, if your IP changes because it's dynamic, you can just do a what is my IP, and then just for that day, yeah, whatever, yeah. And you don't got to make it public. I'll log into, you just send it through the Discord so you don't make it public. But yeah, absolutely. That'd be cool. 1980 something? Let's watch this. Throwing shuriken. Look at the blood. It was so. This is what parents were worried about in violent video games back in the day. This. You're killing people with swords, and they don't even look like people. They look like big ass. Like that was a freaking. And people die and fade away. Their bloody bodies don't sit around and rot like they do in the mountain looks fleshy. You recall that 7-Up game with the red dot character you play as? 7-Up? No. I remember the Avoid the Noid one from Domino's. What? 1987. That'd be cool. I have 50 brothers going on. Yeah, whenever you're ready, brother. Yeah, wasted so much coin on Street Fighter, dude. Need to Street Fighter 2, and then so like $50 on that. However long it took me, like 6 months, and then when Mortal Kombat first came out, there was lines out the mall, people waiting up. People would go up, and this is crazy. This is how life was back in the day. You would go and you would put your quarters, there would be like $10 in quarters on the machine, and then people would play it when it was your turn. Like, that's how you marked it was your turn. Nowadays, people would just steal it all. Avoid the Noid. Yes. Fight. Let's look at Avoid the Noid. Let's look at the 7-Up one first. 7-Up video game. Not Open Up. Open Up video game. Dude, no, I don't remember. I don't think I've ever seen this. Hold on. Let me find some gameplay.
Have you ever played Cool Spot?
Never even seen it, dude. But look at those freaking graphics. You only had, I think it was 16 colors, so they had to dither them together.
Genesis and Super Nintendo. The game was later ported by other teams to the Master System, Game Gear, Game Boy, Amiga.
You remember it?
In 1994. Now, depending on how old you are, you
maybe
may
I
recognize this
do
character
remember
right
it.
away,
Oh, now that he's
this
walking
character,
like
Cool
that.
Spot,
Yeah,
was
like the
mascot
freaking
for
hip
the
hop
soft
gangster
drink
walk.
7-Up.
I remember that.
Cool Spot's
Yes, I
appearance in his own
absolutely
video
do
game
remember
came at a
this.
time when other brand mascots like Chester Cheetah were appearing in their own games as well.
Yep,
Cool
I
Spot
do.
is a
I
single-player
certainly
platform
do.
Game where he can jump and attack by throwing soda bubbles in any direction. In
Soda
each level,
bubbles.
the
It was
player
so
must rescue other
non-violent.
Cool Spots
Soda
who
bubbles.
look exactly
Avoid the
alike
Noid.
from their cages. This game actually got a lot of great reception for being what it was. At the time, the reviews averaged between 8 and 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
the game
that's
even
crazy.
ended up
Yeah,
getting
that
a
was
sequel
cool. Yeah,
called
and you
Spot
and
Goes
you
to
just
Hollywood.
popped if you didn't like die. I mean, you still lost a life. Okay. Avoid the Noid. I remember this shit, bro. I remember the Michael Jackson Moonwalker game. Yeah, great game, dude. I played that in the arcade. Oh, my wrist is stuck on my freaking. Hold on, shoot you, Bob. Avoid the Noid game. Dude, I played this on CGA graphics. Like it had 4 colors. Cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. It wasn't even white. And this is even better version. I know older than that. It was definitely older than that. Let's see. CGA. Oh, they don't even have any gameplay of the CGA. Yo, Noid. Avoid the Noid game. Okay, all right. Well, they had an online version too. That was the commercial. Here's the NES one. This was better than the computer version.
Here's a side-scrolling platform game starring everyone's
this was
favorite
way
Pizza Thief,
different.
Domino's Noid character. He's annoyed. Get it? Noid. Never mind.
He's annoyed because he ruined your pizza.
This game has 14 stages, all set within New York City. I've seen an ice stage, a city stage, a stage where you ride a boat.
Look, dude, this is like 4 frames a second.
Helicopter stage like Flappy Bird. And of course, the first stage. Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna yak my Dominoes.
Yeah, dude. The
Noid has a yo-yo for a weapon that works pretty well, but you can collect more like this pogo stick, if you could call it a weapon. Anyway, this is a fun platformer with nice detailed imagery.
What up,
happy music,
Lebrado?
and lots of stage variety.
Dude, my neighbor had this game. We didn't have dominoes, so I
Oh,
thought it was a
this game would be
goddamn
good.
rabbit.
I think I love it.
Do you recall last time you checked them out? Yeah, dude. I had it happen a lot in the movie industry. No, the Genesis version was what I played. Who uses checks anymore, dude? Companies do. I still get checks. I felt it coming. I feel it coming. I can feel it coming in the end. Oh yeah, the big one with the big ass handle for like the frick. Yeah. Vector, the Vector Graphics. Vector Graphics Star Wars arcade cabinet. Vector, I missed the Vector. Vector. Arcade game. Yeah, dude. Look at this. I hope they've got a video. Oh, come on. Look at the graphics, dude. You hear this? Hear this audio? Yeah, look at the big ass thing. And look at the graphics. They're just lines. They're just straight lines. They couldn't even make curves. Talk about seizure warnings. OBSDL. Remember the people writing checks like, why do I gotta buy a book of them? Yep. Single line. Yep. You didn't want to turn off the trace, the ray trace. Yeah, dude. Yahoo! I wish there was a Dad's Over for 1983, right? It was the X-Wing game. Oh, come on. Watch the graphics come together. Watch the graphics come together. Hold on. When the screen reboots. It draws everything in. Dude, look like this was probably 5 to 8 frames a second. And just everything blew up into triangles. And look, there's the Death Star. There's the Death Star. You have to just aim towards the Death Star. Dude, it's so crazy how far we've come. And this is when you had like kilobytes of memory, not megabytes and gigabytes of freaking storage. It would say, use the Force. Once you got into the, right here, it'll show it. And no transition, and now you're in the, you can't even see what's going on. And you had to hit the correct button to launch the nuke, or not nuke, or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was, the grenade of some sort. Yeah, dude. And you're like, I'm flying. And like they built the wooden cabinet like to make you feel like you were in it. It was the coolest thing. And the speakers and the sound was so crappy. What up, Jim Bob? Lunar Lander, yeah, with the thrust thing. Yeah, Lunar Lander. Let's do that. Lunar Lander. Lunar Lander. Game. The game. Yeah, dude. Look at. Wait till you guys see these graphics. Look at this. Look at this.
Lunar lander, where you have to carefully, oh so carefully, land on the moon. And it's actually pretty rewarding if you can pull it off. You basically have some fuel that you pay for with quarters, and given the price of gas today, it's actually pretty cheap for jet fuel. And you also have to pay attention to your
this graphics are
horizontal and
impressive. It's from
vertical
the 80s
speed,
arcade
as well as
machine.
your
Oh,
altitude
yeah,
as you're
absolutely,
descending. You have the option to land in 4 different places. The smaller areas are worth more points, and they do switch up each time you start a game. And what this game lacks in exciting graphics, it definitely makes up for with intensity, because it's really
piss you
tricky
off.
to land this thing.
You blew
and
up.
sometimes if you don't land softly, you'll damage something. Like I just lost my life support. And here it says
and if
my
you
trick
landed
is
harder,
gonna
you'd
be
blow up.
one
Dude, back in
way
the day,
from
all those
damage.
limitations they were pushing out. Yeah,
And
you
here I
don't
just-
understand how small these games were, like in size for memory. You didn't have 64 megs of memory. You didn't have 1 meg of memory. You didn't have a quarter of a meg. Yeah, hold on. All right, let me see. Lunar Lander ROM size video game. 2 KB, 2 kilobytes. The multiple, you had 2 kilobytes of RAM using the main CPU, the Atari release. 2, dude, it takes 2 kilobytes to like write your name and address. Not really, but yeah, to like try to make anything with a 2 kilobyte file. I still remember Super Mario in the arcade and Jesus Christ, 1989. Yeah, Super Mario was great in the arcade. I remember someone recreated basic form Minecraft with an online graphing calculator. That's so freaking awesome. Let's see, Minecraft on a graphing calculator. No way, dude.
Ever since I got my TI-84 in high school, I've always wondered, can you play Minecraft on a graphing calculator? Well, since I'm a tech nerd, I found out how to jailbreak my calculator with Artifice. Then I installed the classic games like Super Mario, Tetris, and Pokemon Red. So, while my math teacher's explaining how to factor, I can earn my next gym badge. But what about Minecraft? A YouTuber by the name of The Science Elf programmed isometric Minecraft.
Wow.
Yes, 3D Minecraft on a TI-84, which I just installed. Okay, no way this actually works. What? So you can move around, and if you press enter, it'll open the inventory. Now, of course, we need a house, so let's start by building the base.
Crazy.
Apparently the house is floating. Ta-da! And of course, I have to blow it up. My calculator also has a sound feature, so I can play Cat by C418. Wait, I almost forgot the self-promo. Yeah, it was meant to say sub. So I did some mining off camera and made this. Hold up.
That's freaking wackadoo. Graphics shot up to single lifetime. Pole position. Atari. Pole position. There you go. Dude, wait till you see these graphics, dude. Hold on. That was the Atari 7800. Here was the original. This was the 2600. You had 2,680 bytes. Look at the background. That's the wreck. Did you see that? Let's look at the car. Look at the car graphics. That's it. That's the wreck. And then here's the 7800. So three times as much memory.
This was the pack-in game and almost a trifecta game. The original pole position appeared on the 2600 and 5200, and it's basically the same as the 7800 game, but this one has 4 tracks.
This actually had tires that flew
around.
around.
A ton, and I actually got pretty good. The sounds and controls are great, and the graphics are also good.
Look at the different clouds.
The scrolling is a little choppy, though. B grade.
Dude, freaking wackadoo. They saved a lot of memory using lines of code to generate textures and effects. No, that's right. Oh, yeah, everything. What was, so they would use what they called something maps. What were they called? Not tile maps back in the day. So you said like what you wanted a block to be, like a 16 by 16 block of graphics, and then you would like draw an A in there or draw part of a corner, and then you could take those blocks and build to make. Then that's how you did your graphics. It was all text that represented what color pixels were where. It was freaking absolutely crazy. And then now tile maps do the same thing. Isn't the right one? But it's pretty cool. Oh yeah, track and field 4K. Track and field, prepare to qualify on a calculator. Yep, 5808. Hold it upside down for boobs. Remember, look at the arcade pole. The arcade pole position? Oh, right. Yeah, that actually had like smooth tires and stuff. Arcade pole position. Bam. Yeah, this was much better. Obviously, you had way more graphics. And it had a steering wheel and stuff. It's hard to see. Oh, he's not playing it. An actual explosion and fire. Oh, you couldn't see that. Look at them graphics, boy. Boom. Anyway. Way back in the day. Looks like Rad Racer. Rad Racer was a good one, too. Rad Racer. Yeah, boy. Rad Racer was the NES.
Rad Racer, Squaresoft. This game is surprisingly good. Like, surprisingly holds up well to this day.
It actually had hills.
It's weird to say, but Rad Racer just feels so right to control. You get to pick between a race car and an F1 race car. The race car feels a little slower, but is a lot easier to control. The F1 feels way faster, but a bit more slippery. I wasn't able to get very far, unfortunately, but this game is so addicting that I only really started getting frustrated because I was playing this game for 2 hours straight because I forgot to record for the first hour. It's just so cool to see all the original Xbox fly by.
You grew up with that, right? Plus, there's arcade ones you put batteries in, like the Pac-Man ones. Yeah, I remember those too.
It's so good that I would argue it's easier to tell your relation to other objects than it is in the original Super Mario Kart.
It's Sergey? Is that a game? What am I missing?
The first stage is going to be burned in my corneas for a while now. San Francisco is much better on the
provides, right? Boobless. I can't remember what that was. Boobless. Yeah, Boobless. I remember that one. Yeah. If you select, it goes 3D mode, which sucked. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember primary school, confessed with my crush using my calculator, Adam and Amy. It was so smooth as hell. Anyway, I ended up going to Valentine's Day dances with her twin sister. Calculators were sick. No games. No games. No games, actually. All right, let's see. All right. Rad Racer. What's the next one? What do we got next? What's up next? Somebody said something. What's IT Serke? What was that? Is that incorrectly typed? I've never heard of it. Let's see if it even knows what it is. Welcome to Darius. That's coming up. Defender. Yeah, that was a good one. Road Rash. Road Rash was a great game, but yeah, Defender. Not Fender. Guitar Defender. Yeah, dude. Look at the graphics painted on the outside of it. And then look what the game looks like. Look at this. It's so crazy. That's so crazy, dude. Oh, sorry. All right, there you go. I remember first Sinclair calculator watch. Yeah, the Sinclair was great. Absolutely. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. The Sinclair calculator and watch. Let's see. Yeah, dude, that shit was so awesome. Here you go. There it is. Bam. Man, that stuff was so awesome, dude. That was so awesome. How you doing, KB, brother? Outrun was a good one, too. Somebody mentioned something earlier before I missed what it was. Outrun, maybe that's what it was. Outrun game. Not Temple Run. Yeah, dude. This is when we were getting into 16-bit graphics. You had girls and stuff. What's up? What you doing, everybody? Look at my freaking hips. There we go.
Get ready.
Get ready. The sound is so crazy. And then she flies out when you wreck. She flies out of the car. That's like the Ferrari.
Check right.
You couldn't see over the hills. Freaking punch buggy. You got 8 million points, 10 million points. Come on, wreck. We're not going to show the wreck. Oh, look at that. Look at those graphics, boy. He brings in the trophy. He's got the freaking Ferrari Testarossa. Yeah, driver parallel lines is OG. And take on Galaxian. That was a good one, too. Galaxian. Anyone remember Dancing Demon? From the Trash 80. Hold on. We'll get there in 1 second. Jam. Hold on. Galaxia. It was Galaxia, right? Not Galaxian, or was it Galaxian? Galaxian. Waxing. Yeah, it was Galaxian. Yeah, sorry. Galaga is what I was thinking of. Look at this. Look at those graphics. You ain't playing around. You are not playing around. You do not have the horsepower. You do not. That's freaking crazy. So the calculator watch only goes to tens of millions. Yes. Yeah, went to 9 digits. No, 9 digits? No, 8 digits. Yeah. 8 digits. Tens of millions. That's it. Motion Sickness, the video game. Dancing Demon on the Trash 80. Dancing Demon, TRS 80. Wow, dude. That's bringing back the old school days. This is so crazy. Hold on. Dude, you're mine and Lamb's vintage. That's so crazy. Let me click this out of the way. Hold on real quick. That's so crazy.
So the scan lines and the tall pixels are part of the TRS-80. That's what it looked like.
Oh, he's doing it on an emulator.
Animation was never matched. Created by Leo Christopherson, who was like the Disney of
Dude,
TRS-80.
look at that 3D freaking graphics. He's actually spinning. No, zero shaders.
He's a genius.
Zero lighting.
You can play this in your browser if you go to bigpants.ca. Games I used to play.
Bigpants.ca.
Go right there and play it right now. Link in the description.
That's so crazy, dude. I can't believe you remember that.
You know where your head.
Don't question the lamb. Cuz is cutting her up. I'm probably gonna get copyright freaking on his audio.
Computer.
Hey.
And only have 248 notes. Well earned, Demon. Well earned.
Well earned. 1979 Trash 80. Bigpants.ca. Big Pants. Games I used to play. TRS-80. Wow, dude. Look at the freaking graphics. You are not playing around. Back when you had to use dithering, we had a whole different microcosm, pun intended, in the UK with the Sinclair, right? Yeah. The Sinclair and the BBC Micro. Controls resolution. Greetings, weirdo. It says, greetings, absolute weirdo. My name is Jim McGilly, and I played these games 42 years ago. Click a game. He made a new game called Endlight, chaotic action game with the TRS-80. You can reload the game by Control L slave, 3 slots per game, copy, game Control C, paste it in your email, Control V, send it to a friend. How do you play the game? Where's that? Am I missing something here? Oh, okay, Outhouse. No way. How do you play it? Am I missing something here? Outhouse is one of the greatest games. Hold on. Am I missing something here? Hold on. Oh, just click on it, he's saying, I think. Maybe I'm missing it. Let's look at the graphics. 128 by 48 pixels. That's it. We didn't have no 1920 by 1080. 128 by 40. I can't even say it. Defense Command. My uncle had the arcade cabinet. I had an uncle had one too. Cousin. Had them all back in here for my TRS-80. BBC was just school. Oh, okay, gotcha. My first game as a kid was the original Mario. My real first game I played was Far Cry 1. Yeah, dude. Maybe. Outhouse. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. Outhouse. It says click on it to play it, but I can't. How do you play it? It says click on the game to play. One of the greatest claims, Robotron, greatest game. Robotron, greatest game ever made. Stuff. I don't understand. I'm completely lost here. It says to play. Break, pause, load, save. Am I missing something here? Video.
Welcome to the TRS-80 Model 3 Games I Used to Play. This is back in 1982. Game is called Outhouse. And let's get to it.
Oh, listen to the audio. What up, Tobian? Call of Duty 4 here. Audio. I mean, wow. I'm quite young. I was a bit late to get the podcast.
I always like to have nice title screens here.
Commodore 64. I didn't have one. I had a sorry, Big Pants. Right. Sorry, we need to see.
What I'm going to do is going to play the early levels, then I'll skip to the higher levels. These are the high scores so far. I don't know who those people are. But
I had a Commodore PC 10-2 was my first 4 megahertz machine, 4.77. It was an IBM clone, Commodore's IBM clone. I had a TI-99 4A. I got so much played older games as a kid. I actually got grateful for. VIC-20 was a poor dude's C64. Right. 20 kilobytes of RAM versus 64 kilobytes of RAM. I remember the VIC-20. My neighbor Vic, him and his dad's name were both Vic. Victor and Victor. Vic Jr., Vic Sr., Vic Jr., and they had a VIC-20, oddly enough. Anyway, that's good. All right, Adam, brother. Have a good night, my friend.
Let's go. So the goal is to protect the outhouse and protect yourself. Unlike that eyeball, these guys are coming in to get the toilet paper.
No way.
So your job is to shoot them before they get there.
You can shoot diagonally. Oh, they're stealing the toilet paper.
And I'll take him out.
Oh, and you get it all back. I didn't remember that at all. Dude, I do not remember the digitized vocal. 32 likes, not bad. I didn't realize it. Remember the turbo switch? Yes. That would drop down from like 8 to 4 or 12 to 8 or 13 or 33 to, yeah, mine was 4.77 megahertz, so it didn't have no turbo button. It was an 8 XT, not an AT or a turbo XT, but no, I absolutely remember them. Yeah. And like I remember bringing Karnov, one of my video games, over to my buddy's house who had a Tandy that had a turbo button, and we played it and it was like, it was way too fast and you had to slow it down. It was so crazy that you could slow it down mid-run. Like it wouldn't hang, but you could go between like whatever it was. I'm going to say 8 and 4, whatever. Burger Time, I had that on the TI-99 4A. Burger Time, TI-99 4A. Yeah, here it is. Look at these freaking graphics, dude. 1983.
You control
All right, hold on. Look how crazy this stuff is. It looked so good in the arcade, but this is, yeah, the TI-99. Look at that, dude. Look at that.
Pepper the chef making giant hamburgers, or maybe you're a tiny chef making
look at
normal
the big
hamburgers.
flag
I was never
things
sure. At any
chasing
rate,
you.
the ingredients are spread across a multi-level map, and you need to walk across them to drop them onto the plates below. Complete all the burgers and complete that level. Now, of course, you must dodge all the enemy food, eggs, pickles, sausages, that are for some reason trying to stop you from building burgers. Your only defense aside from clever dodging is your pepper shaker that can temporarily stun the enemies. That's all fine and remarkably well translated from arcade to the VCS, including decent renditions of the game music. What's not well translated, though, is the control. Getting on and off ladders requires frustrating precision, and a death is determined purely by collision detection. So even if a pickle just touches the very tip of your little chef's hat as you round a corner, you're dead.
Yeah.
And it's pretty slow.
The
graphics look unfinished.
The agonizing moment when you have to make the calls whether your tape is loaded or failed. Yep. That I remember that on the TI-99 4A also, and I remember the VIC-20. It's from what friends had, like neighbors had. My first hard drive was 10 megabytes. Mine was also 10. No, sorry. I had a 32 gigabyte. My apologies. I had a 32 gigabyte hard drive. Yeah. RRL formatted at 2020. Hey, sometimes that's what you got to do. You remember that stuff? I guess you do. You just said you did. Loading. Please wait. What does that mean? Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. Back in the day, Clippy. Back in the day. RRL format. It halved the sector sizes, I believe. Let me see. Run length limited. Data encoding technique that increased capacity by 50%. By restricting if you had 5 zeros in a row or 10 zeros in a row, it would do something to let you know that it didn't need that the rest of the byte or blocks was zero or zeros, like by using a third. I can't remember if it was like you had 1 0 and Z, right? You had 1 0 and high impedance. I can't. Let's look at it. Hell yeah, I never really looked at it. Let's find out. 26 sectors per track compared to 17. Okay, so it did almost double that. So yeah, that's basically what it did. Minimizes the time between magnetic transitions, allowing more data to fit on the same surface. You needed an RLL controller. While some MMF tries to be formatted with the late irritability issues. BIOS. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it about doubled syntax.
Hey everybody, Walton Goggins here. Starting a business is
more
never
than before.
easy. Go
So
down here.
on your hard drive, well, let's see what the video shows you. On your hard drive, the way you format your hard drive, you tell it where you want to put the ones and the zeros, and you have sectors and tracks, and it's like a record, and you can use another piece of hardware to tell it to make those half the size. Instead of a 1 being that big and a 0 of magnetic media, it would double it almost. We'll see. We'll see what I can show you here. Hello.
Welcome to this video where we'll be low-level formatting these guys here using the following controller cards.
Alright, hold on.
So this video will cover low-level formatting of old MFM and RLL hard drives.
All right, let me see if I can find a short about it. Hold on. RLL formatting. No way. No way. I can't find anything. Hard drive. How to format your SS. Yeah, they don't have any other. There's no small. Yeah, they don't have RLL in any short format. There you go. There you go. There's your first video, brother. Make RLL. So if we look up what it actually says, it doubles the. Okay, run length limit. Formatting older hard drives increases it by 50%. Often applied to boost capacity, data instability, requiring robust, high-quality platters. It increases capacity and speed, but might cause read errors if the drive is an MFM unit cannot handle the tighter density. It's amazing how dense we've got them now, right? My first hard drive was 32 megs also, absolutely. 20, go to 10, 10, print boobs. Windows 3.1 was the first. Yeah, I had MS-DOS 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. I don't think if I went to 6.0 or if I stayed until Windows 3.1. That I remember. I love 110th grade 20 good. Dude, I had a 300 baud modem, cradle modem. And I used a Quantum Link on my buddy's Commodore 64, and I used starts with a P. I can't remember what it was on the Commodore PC 10-2. It was called Prodigy. In theory, it doubled space. In reality, it wasn't double. Can you explain to us how to find the least common denominator in a complex factorization equation to be multiplied one by another? I do not know. That sucks so bad. How to use the least common denominator in a complex fraction equation being multiplied by one another. I got no idea. 5 floppy disks for DOS 6. Yeah, I remember that, and I remember getting it lent to me, but I don't think I ever used it because of my limitation of my hard drive. Yeah, and I was fine with it. What did they expect? It's called fart coin. Exactly. Flip phones are 20 years away still. Yep. I still have a copy. I love having friends like you. It's great. It's great that we still have libraries of the old tech. And I tell you, it's such a great thing because, dude, you could make videos just showing off the discs. Just 10 minutes of, hey, do you guys remember MS-DOS 6.0? Well, here, let's talk about 5.0. And you show some freaking screenshots of what 5.0 limitations were and then what 6.0. And you show the actual floppy disk. And you could get a freaking 500,000 views or more. Probably 10,000 at least. Yeah, absolutely. That kind of stuff is good. Having the props like that. A zip disk was 100 megabytes. 100 megabytes. I used zip disks also, and they had a gig version, which was called what? What was the gigabit version? Yeah, I had 5.25 or 5.5 inch, 5.25 inch floppies, and when I got my computer, it only had one drive. It had an A drive, and then I bought a B drive, and then about 2 years later, I got a 32 gig hard drive. Flood the market, then buy it back when the price is down. It happens a lot too. Yep, a B drive. So yeah, I remember having really wanting the B drive so I could copy discs. I couldn't copy discs because I had 640 kilobytes of RAM. So if you had a 1.2 megabyte floppy, you couldn't copy it all into memory, then remove the disk and put another disk in. I had double-sided, double density. I have about 1,000 3.5 inch floppies with games in my basement. I'm telling you, brother, when you get to the time. B drive. You never heard of a B drive? Most people haven't even heard of an A drive. So the floppy drives that were on the front of your computer, the one that it booted to typically was your A drive. And then if you wanted to copy discs, you would go from the A to B. And then, or if you had a hard drive, a C drive, you would go to copy it from A to C, remove the one out of A, put one in A, and then, yeah, absolutely. Dude, I remember that. Yeah, that shit was so awesome. I love that stuff, man. That stuff was so great. What up, S2, brother? Unavailable, brother. Unavailable, lamb. Yeah, dude. B drives. Yes, 5.5. Yes. So my A and B drive were both 5.5. I never got a 5 1/4. 3.5. Yeah, I never got a 3.5 drive on that. I eventually got an external parallel port one from a buddy. I mean, but yeah, no, it was, they were, look, this is what I had. This is what I had. Commodore PC 10-2. There it is right there. There it is right there. It had two, and those are 5. They look like they're small, but that was it. And it had the cord that went on the front. That's where you plugged in your mouse and your key. I'm sorry, that's where you plugged in your keyboard. It didn't have mouse because it was all text. And it's actually on the floppy to make I didn't have to, but I for most. But yes, I had a notch cutter, absolutely. But luckily, most of the ones I got were when I needed to. I absolutely would, and then cover the tabs for write protection. Yeah, I only bought 3 back when it was $33. Now I had more. Yup. Do you recall my most prized possession? My community. Yeah, that's nostalgia. Once again, my moron self has no clue what you're talking about. So these are my old computers. These are the old computers. The Commodore, when IBM's came out, Commodore tried to make an IBM clone, so it ran MS-DOS and stuff. And so this was it. This is what. Oh, let me shrink it down. This is what it looked like. It was the size of a desk. So that was probably like almost 3 feet wide. Let's just say 2 feet wide. And then it had 2 big 5 1/4 inch floppy disks, the A and the B. And then you had a C drive that went on the inside that you had to buy separately. But it was, everything was text. You didn't have mice. You didn't have there was no USB invented back in. Yeah, yes, they could be anyone, right? Yep. And it wasn't USB. Like, this is what was on the back. You had an RS-232 and a Centronics port. And then you had I can't remember which one was the printer port. It wasn't the RS-232. I think it was the Centronics port was the printer port. And then you had to buy cards to put in. Like, your modem went in there, your game card, your MIDI card. Your MIDI card and your game card was the same thing if you wanted joysticks. Yeah, and things have come a long way. The Oregon Trail, yeah. B's were 1.44 megabytes. You're talking about the three. Listen, so these are both. This was A drive on top and B drive on the bottom. They were both 5.5. You could get them swapped out. You could make them both 3.5s. The small 3.5 drive or 3 1/4 inch drives held 1.44 megs of storage. The 5 1/4s held 1.2 megs. Yeah, so they were smaller and held more. Like stupid big. You're talking about the ones that had the zip drives. They held 100 megs. I used them for music recording and stuff. If I did my first live average tonight after your live, would anyone look? Brother, you should definitely. I mean, you probably have a couple people in there. I'm freaking holding my eyeballs open, so I'm gonna go take a pee and go to bed. I would love for you to do it tomorrow instead, because then we can do it like at 8 o'clock rather than freaking 10:30. Well, so this is the problem, Wyatt. You had to tell MS-DOS which drive you were talking about, so you assigned an A letter like this. I'll show you right here. A drive versus B drive. You could assign a letter to each one. So here's what you're talking about. Oops. What you're talking about. So the A drive, this one here, the A drive is called is a 3.5. The B drive is a 5 1/4, and the C drive. But you can tell your operating system, I want my hard drive to be labeled letter A. So when you're in DOS in text, you could say go to drive A, and then dir, give me a directory of it. So the size didn't matter for the which one it was. I'd happy to be here again if all of you. Hey, thank you about Georgie. No, you remember the externals? Yeah, that's what I had, an external zip. Yes, zip drive. External zip disk. 5 1/4 drives are hard to find like hen's teeth. Yes, sir. What up, Jerry? Step back in. Howdy, my brother. B drives. Right. What do you think about Goldbacks? Goldman Sachs? Hold on, let's see this real quick. Here they are right here. These are the ones, they hold 100 megs, 1990s must have. Listen, so I had a 32 meg hard drive, and these here, which were a little bit bigger than the 3.5-inch floppies, held 3 times the amount. What up, Katra? What's Goldbacks? You're talking about the bills? You could have any floppy. Right. You could assign the letter. Like you could say, I want this drive to be the A drive, B drive, C drive, F drive, W drive. Like, let me show you real quick. No matter. Yeah, okay. Let me see. I don't know if it'll pull up on the screen, but let me see. Let me see if this works. Okay, so if I go to there, let's see if this works. I don't think it's gonna work. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I can't. Yeah, but yeah, you can rename the drives whatever you want. All right, my bad. Yeah. So the drive letter is just what you're calling the drive. Let's see, Chrome, Social Stream, Discord. Okay, and that's me. All right, let's see. Fancy doing an after party, but I understand. Can you please check something out? Super cool. People are awesome. Hadoken 2014. I can't play it. I mean, if it's I'll look it up right now. But if it's copyrighted, I can't play it, but we'll look. Oh, it's a video? You say it's the song? Okay, let's see. I have some zip disks with AutoCAD. I remember that. Yeah, most floppy drives were either A or B, but you could do what you want. You could make them Z and F and Q and whatever, and you can rename drives. It's how you want to run your computer. Feeling better, I can hang out now. I'm as friendly as I'm in pain. The less social I get. It's amazing. My favorite speed had 16K. Oh, damn, Sinclair 1000. There you go. There you go. We got a bunch of old heads in here. All right, let's see. People are awesome. This. Hopefully I don't get a copyright strike just at the end of the freaking stream. All right, hold on. Let me see something real quick. Hold on. Let me see if it says I got any copy. Oh, it doesn't look like it's got copyrighted music in it. No, okay, all right, yeah. I'm gonna call it a night here anyway. I'm tired. I appreciate you all coming through. Georgie, if you can find the link to it, just jot it down, or tomorrow on stream, give it to me a little bit earlier. AutoCAD, I had AutoCAD, the architecture for yes. They still use it. Yeah. Yep. It was mail order host NRI. Jeez, I have a couple of spectrums. They even have disk drive interfaces. Dude, do you remember that? TRS-80. No. What was it? The Coco color computer? Coco color computer. I can't remember. I know I'm getting it wrong here. The Tandy's TRS-80. It was Reality Shack, Radio Shack. Yeah, boy. Oh, no, that's what I got here. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, Lamb's going live in 5 minutes. You guys watch him after I get done eating and go into the bathroom. I'll check you guys out over there. But I love you all, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hugs and kisses. I appreciate you guys being here. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. See you guys. Bye bye. Bye bye.